Previously on Guardians of Fehal.
You gathered supplies and headed towards the Whispering Vale in search of 3 missing hunters associated with the Fehal Merchant Guild. On your way there, you met a strange young woman named Lin, who it turned out was a changeling and had the ability to look like anyone she's met before. As you passed through the village of Cutter's Grove, you had heard a satyr had been causing trouble and kidnapping locals. As you camped outside of town for the night, you ran into this mysterious satyr and his trickster friends.
Who do you wake up first?
Both of you.
You have to use an action to wake up one of us.
Before we get to
Josh's hunt.
Alright, let's roll initiative. You
You want all of us to roll initiative?
we'll roll initiatives for you guys as you get woken up.
Okay.
As we get woke.
As you get woken
Nora! Why are we sleeping?
Oh, holy
I can't be put to sleep by magic, so I'm like, wake me up!
Before you go.
Well, if this creature relies on dark vision, I'm invisible.
What's your initiative?
3.
Cool.
Okay.
Big ol' 3.
Okay. Well, you're not going last.
Ha!
Because I rolled really bad.
Good.
Okay. Let's get everyone on
The map?
a map. Sam and Una, go ahead and roll initiative because you weren't magically put to sleep.
But I was under problem.
Oh,
19.
Oh, Jesus.
God.
Rolled an 18.
9.
So what's going to happen is they're going to essentially get a turn to act with Rowan because Rowan wakes you guys up. So
All of us?
all 3 of you girls will wake up because you're not magically asleep. For Hans and Franz to wake up, it's going to take an action to shake them awake. Because that's how this magic spell works.
Wake it up.
Wake it up.
Wake it up.
So would this be... That would be my first turn in combat.
Yeah.
Or would my first turn
First
be
turn
waking up?
combat.
You'll wake up and be like, huh? And then see shit going down. So you'd have to probably grab your bow.
Okay.
And like spend your turn grabbing your bow.
So our turn is just waking up, and
Yeah.
then that's
Right.
it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was wondering if
All
I
right.
could use Deadly Ambush, but
Yeah. Nope.
Nope.
Nora, you're gonna wake up first and you see shit's going on, but you're not gonna get a chance to act.
Okay.
Next up, Lynn, you wake up hearing that there is like Rowan yelling.
Am I
and,
able to stand up or no? Or just
If
wake
we're
up?
surprised, we can't
No,
act.
you
We get
can't
no
act.
movement,
So you
no
wake up,
action.
but you're like, what's going on? Nothing happens with you.
You're
Una,
conscious.
same thing, you're awake. Alright, the satyr is going to tut. He's like, well, I can't have all of you waking up. It's going to make it very difficult to kidnap one of you then. And he tries to play his pipe flute again, and he looks at Una and Lynn.
Oh goodness. And there's no save against this.
Nope.
Yay, we're back asleep! Unless you're immune to being
Alright.
charmed.
Unless you're immune to being charmed.
I don't know.
It's only worth they make the save once, they don't have to again.
No.
Nope.
I just want to make sure there are certain things that do.
Satyrs are screwy.
I'm gonna have to dive into this one.
Do you have anything for it?
Do they rely on dark
roll?
vision?
I'm gonna roll to see which one of the two, because he can look at you two and immediately be like, "Say, this isn't gonna affect them." But you two
It's
look
not an
human,
attack,
so he's
no.
like, "This probably will work on one of you." Let's see, high, low.
Yeah, I don't think changing
Me.
things.
Yep, Una, you go right. All of a sudden, you're like, "Huh?" Right
I
back
killed
to
him
sleep.
anyways, it's fine.
Killed one of his bros, no wonder.
And then he'll say to the goat that is with him, there's this massive ass goat. She killed one of our friends. Take the pretty one with red hair. And then that's his turn.
Yeah, at least you were called pretty.
That doesn't help at all. He's still a massive asshole.
Thank you.
I mean,
Thanks? Question mark?
The sprite,
Don't thank him. Satyrs are rapey.
Yeah.
the 2 sprites.
I like impregnating women.
Yeah.
They've mostly kidnapped males so far, so no.
Well, we don't have to raise you.
Lore!
Anyway, yeah.
I listen to the lore
Preferences.
and supernatural.
Satyrs can be homosexual.
Yeah.
There you go.
It could
You
be
don't
a
know.
Female satyr.
I said rapey, not impregnatey.
Right.
Oh no, it wasn't. What am I thinking? Grim with the
Grim,
satyr that
okay.
needed.
So the blue sprite is going to shoot at you,
Okay.
Rowan.
No, wakey.
Oh Jesus! And it absolutely misses.
Good.
The second sprite is also going to try to shoot at you. Oh my God! I rolled 2 2s.
Shucks darn.
So both of them just
GG.
completely go wide off of you with their little bows, and they make like a. You hear them like swear in Sylvan. Oh shit!
Cutest little curse.
All right, Rowan, it's your turn.
You can't speak, it's not fair.
Yeah, I'm gonna wake up Josh's Hans and Franz.
So come over here,
So your
Yeah.
action is to wake
Okay.
me up. Wake
Before I
me
go,
up
no.
inside.
sir, sir, sir.
But so many
Hans and
wake
Franz.
up jokes.
Hans and Franz. Wake up.
All right, roll me your initiative, honey.
Okay.
And then I will.
Ew.
I
That's
assume.
a 4. That's a 4.
I assume I can get
plus
next to Una.
zero.
Sorry, hang on a minute.
You're good.
Okay, what were you saying? You were saying
I assume with the rest of my movement, I can at least get next to or in front of Una,
Let's see.
because I was
You
like,
probably
right
Wait, you
here.
think
Yeah.
the pretty one with the red hair is Una too?
He pointed at Una.
I'm just like trying to go towards them.
Betrayal.
You can probably get close to her, like about right here.
Okay.
So. Okay.
And then
Bonus action
I think I'll rage.
against the machine.
Yes.
Okay.
Against that goat machine. And we have rested, so the one that's set is good.
Which one is the goat, by the way?
The goat is the big
Green
green
one.
one.
Okay.
The satyr is the black little meeple, and then the 2 sprites are the little transparent ones.
The acrylic meeples?
Yeah.
Translucent one.
Next up, it is the goat. The goat is going to move and try to charge you.
Me.
Yeah. Let's see.
Do it, fool.
All right. So you're gonna
Roll to
take. Let's see.
Does it roll to attack?
Yeah. Rolls to attack. It has a. Plus 5. Does a 14 hit you?
Oh man.
Okay. It tries to hit you, but and
Ram it with my shield.
ram it, and you just catch it with your hard wooden body.
Mm.
What the fuck is going on? Hard wooden body.
Yep.
Made of wood.
Yeah, well, that was a little cool.
I also have a shield that I can use to,
Yeah.
reflect
Hard as a rock. no
reflect things.
Look, I
Deflect
didn't
things.
take
That's the word I'm looking for.
Let me see.
I don't have to use my body. Why gotta be my body?
Hard body.
Mm.
Touch my body. Do you guys ever watch?
You also gotta make a strength saving throw because
Only if it
it
hits, though.
I have advantage, right?
Yeah, it doesn't see that.
Should be.
Advantage on strength
just
checks and
says-
saving throws.
If the target is a creature, it must succeed on saving throw or be knocked
My
prone.
creature or construct?
Ooh. The eternal debate.
You
They're
use
considered a
your
creature.
Yeah,
creature.
you're a creature.
Okay.
Because a creature's not a type.
Mm-hmm.
Creature is just a creature.
A being.
It's not like if it was a beast.
12 and a 15 plus strength.
Yeah.
It's not.
It could be.
I have a
Probably
20.
is.
It tries to knock you over and you just sure up your footing and you're not beast mode.
Yeah.
Next up, we have at the top of the round. Well,
This is
actually, you
Satyr
woke
like.
up, Josh, but you can't do anything. So, Nora, it's your turn.
Okay.
But I've woken him up.
I'm going
I got an
to.
initiative of 4. I go at the bottom of this.
I'm gonna get up
Well, second level.
because, and that'll take half my movement.
Okay.
And Nora's gonna be really, really, really mad because she was woken up from sleep and she doesn't like
I
that.
would like to
Is
raise.
she a bitch when she wakes up?
And she's gonna
Really
go
so.
ahead and cast Moonbeam.
Okay.
Turn away, so. Use a concentration ring
Right
for ya.
on.
Okay. Anything else? Bonus action? Rest of your movement?
Yes. For my bonus action, I'm going to use my spirit totem.
Okay.
I just realized I don't have one, so we're gonna use the Scanlan glittery die for spirit totem.
Okay.
Totally makes sense.
And I'm gonna use the unicorn
Okay.
and place it right there.
Which does.
So the unicorn, every one of you guys, because you're all within the aura, we all gain the advantage to ability checks to detect creatures within the area.
Okay.
Interesting.
In addition, I can also cast a spell using a spell slot that restores hit points to any creature inside or outside of the aura, so I can help heal you guys. Each creature of my choice also regain, basically will gain it based on my druid level. So you'll gain extra hit points if I need to use a spell slot for that.
Nice.
Figured since they're sprites and they can go invisible, might be useful.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, you can hit them anyway, but
Only if they're carrying rocks.
only if they're carrying.
And invisible. Otherwise,
And that's it.
I was like, what was that noise?
Is that it for your turn? Yep. All right. Next up in the initiative, we have the satyr.
He will need to
Yeah, make a saving throw.
make a saving throw.
Dexterity?
Constitution 13.
13. Well, he definitely made that. He rolled
Okay.
a natural 20. So roll me your damage.
Okay. It'll be 11, so halved to 5.
Okay. All right. He in pain from the radiant damage he just took and steps out of it. And looks at you very angrily and is like, "You could have gotten invited to the party if you were nice, but now you're gonna have to die." And he's going to use his action to.
that's the idea.
Oh yeah, he's gonna ram you.
Wait,
Yeah.
how far did he move out of?
Moonbeam range.
Yeah, and then
Let me
what's
think.
his movement?
40. So let me think.
I mean, yeah, he just has to step 5 out of the moonbeam.
Well, I think Moonbeam is starting turn. You guys
Yeah,
know
he
that?
took.
Yep,
Yeah,
he already
Yeah,
took the damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, so already took the damage.
Gotcha.
It's a little hard to tell.
One thing's that with the charge, is
Yeah.
it like a charge?
The charge, the ram thing is basically,
Does move 10 feet in a straight line.
yeah. So he could move 10 feet and try to ram her.
Well, the
There's
spirit,
people in the way. I don't.
the
Even if,
spirit
like, go around.
isn't a thing. Like it's not an
But
object.
Yeah.
There's a large goat there.
Yeah, that's true. Then you know what? He would go and. What's this thing's intelligence?
You do damage against somebody like that.
Yeah, I think he would probably go and.
Kidnap one, kill the rest.
Yeah, I think he would try to go over and grab Una. He wouldn't be able to make it all the way to her. No, he would.
Yeah.
Alright, he's gonna attempt to grab her. Oh, let's make a strength saving check.
Well, I was gonna hit the
How much does
goat,
Una weigh?
She's.
I am 120 pounds
It's a
with.
strength score.
If she
It's-
can't
She's on
resist,
a
top.
12.
he doesn't have to make it. He
12,
just
so-
picks her up.
Alright, he just picks her up and starts, like, moving away.
Not very far.
Yeah. Like, just.
Good thing he's
yeah.
out of
Wait.
movement.
Does that involve
Actually, if
my
he's out of
second
movement, he wouldn't be able to move her away. He just picks
No.
her up.
roll?
So he didn't provoke it yet.
He has to enter into your range
Yeah.
and make an attack
Okay.
or
Uh-huh.
something.
Oh, yeah,
The goat
she's
is
in my
blocking.
5 foot.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Okay. That was the satyr's turn. Next up, we have
Dude, he's gonna totally run off with me.
Lynn.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Not if I have anything to say.
Are either the satyr or the goat considered beasts?
No, there can. Well, the goat is a beast.
Uh-oh.
Well, I could try and cast animal friendship on the goat.
Okay.
They get advantage, I think, if they're
Yeah.
They have advantage on it. But you can do it if you want.
If the beast's intelligence is 4 or higher, the spell fails. Is the beast's intelligence 4 or higher?
No, it's a 3.
Okay. So then the beast
Otherwise-
has to make a wisdom save.
Or be charmed by me for
Mhm.
the spell's duration, which is
Okay.
24 hours.
All right.
Wow.
So it gets advantage on the saving
No.
throw?
Nope.
Nope.
Doesn't say anything on it.
Nope.
Okay.
Certain charm spells,
What's
yes.
the DC? What's your DC?
15.
And then
Or
what kind-
14,
It's
sorry.
wisdom.
Yes.
It rolls an 18 on the die.
Dang it.
so no.
It believes you not.
Bonus action.
You are no friend of mine.
You can inspire somebody.
Yeah,
That's what I was just gonna. I
You're
don't even know who I
bad.
would inspire though.
You can stand it up too.
Well, the real Slim Shady, please stand up.
Can I stand up and do
Yes.
inspire?
Yeah.
Movement.
Yeah, your movement is standing up.
Right.
Half a move.
Half,
I'll
yeah.
stand up.
The animal friendship was your action.
Yeah. So you can inspire somebody.
All right. Bonus actions. Ah.
I think I'm gonna inspire Rowan.
Okay.
Rowan, you're inspired. Do you say anything to
Oh
inspire
crap,
him?
a D10?
Bam.
Is it a D10?
Oh no, I got the
I love it. It's a D6 or D4?
D6.
Yeah, it's a D6.
Wow.
Sorry.
I was like, wait a minute. I know that's what Lauren has, but she's level 14.
That just flew.
I just grabbed pink and black.
Pink and black, pink and black. Okay. Next up in the initiative, Una, you're unconscious. I'm
Yep.
sorry.
No, it's all good.
Sprite is going to shoot at. It's going to shoot at
Give it to me.
Rowan because he's standing up, so it won't be a disadvantage.
Surprise, Amy.
Oh, okay, that might hit. Does a. No, 14 won't hit you.
No,
will it?
ma'am.
Alright, well, the other one's going to try to hit you.
I dare you.
Oh, no, that one's definitely not going to hit. It was lower.
Well, I have
So-
a question here.
Yes.
Rowan doesn't have dark vision, right?
He does.
There's
No,
wait, no,
but there's
he
a
doesn't.
fire.
There's like.
Well, then
How
it's
much
getting
light does the
light.
fire give?
Only probably about like a torch, so like 20 feet of dim
So-
light.
But you had said it started getting light out.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and it's closer to daytime now, so yeah, there's
Okay.
probably light he can
It's
see.
like
Ambient light.
pre-dawn.
yeah, so
Okay.
you can see.
Okay. I can see things.
Okay, I was just wondering because they were far enough away. I didn't, you know,
No, if he could see him.
if
The dark.
You'd have
they would,
advantage.
essentially have advantage
Like
because
sneak
he's so
attack or
far
something,
away.
There's also a giant moonbeam right next to them.
Oh yeah, the movie
Yeah.
does
Yeah.
give off a lot of
Does
light.
that give up
Inside
light?
the
No, it
moonbeam.
gives off
No,
light.
it
5
does
feet
not.
of dim. That's it. 5 feet of dim.
Yeah, it doesn't give off any 5-foot radius of ale light.
Yep. It
Rowan.
only illuminates
It's my
where
turn?
it is.
Yeah, Rowan, it's your turn.
Yeah,
What are
it's
you gonna
dim
do?
light fills the cylinder.
Please don't grab her and rip her in half from the satyr.
No. Because, like, I could... Obviously, I want to stop him, but there's also a goat right in front of me.
You could shimmy around the goat and be
Yeah.
within range both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of be like, excuse me, sorry.
Excuse me, sir.
Excuse me. Oh, sorry. Just gonna move right past you there.
I just like picturing Rowan actually saying this around the goat.
Excuse me. So, as I'm raging.
Excuse me.
Excuse me, sir! And I'm going to try and hit the satyr in the back so it's not hitting Una.
Sure. Go ahead and give
Like-
me an attack roll.
Close to Una, which means Brahma.
Brahma.
Is it a 12? 12 plus all of the things.
6.
Plus 5.
Oh.
Okay. That hits.
Okay.
Roll your damage.
1d8 plus 3.
Plus 2.
Yep. 5, 8, 10.
Yep.
10 points of damage. Okay.
Yup.
Okay. You successfully hit him. He
Okay.
does not look happy.
And then, hold on.
Dude, he's taking quite a bit of damage.
How much did the moonbeam do?
Only 5.
Just 5.
Oh.
I didn't.
So
He
he's
halved
taking 15
it,
points of
so.
damage.
Allegedly.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
you're
think
resistant.
that's everything.
Okay.
I don't think I have any bonuses or anything.
The giant goat is going to.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
I can't.
Huh?
It's gonna ram you, which is it can do it immediately because the charges it's got to have a running speed. The ram it just has to like butt up against you. Yeah, you like my head motions.
Headbutting.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm rolling like shit tonight. The goat.
I mean, I am difficult
The goat
to hit.
tries to hit you, and it just kind of has a dirt moment, and it like starts to faint a little bit, and then it catches itself.
It's like the fainting goat.
Yes, I don't know why. It's not gonna do
Here's
anything.
your spell. It was confused.
Yeah, it was really confused for a minute.
Huh?
What?
He wanted to be my friend, but didn't want to be my friend.
Next up is gonna be Hans and Franz Josh's turn.
Excellent. Stand me up, please.
Okay.
Get up! Get up over
Way to be asleep.
You guys are sleep buddies.
I mean, at least I'm pretty enough to get stolen. So.
He didn't see me in the door.
Well, and also out of the targets, he's like, that one looks a lot easier to pick up than Muscle Man over here.
So let's.
And
And we're already out
There you
because
go.
we're Fae, so.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
honey.
What? Are you offended he didn't kidnap you?
Well, I feel like he didn't wake me up. My own brother.
Look,
Now you're gonna get kidnapped.
there's a whole confusing part right here, okay?
Yeah, you're confusing.
Step 15 feet and chuck an axe at
Satyr boy?
Satyr head.
Give me an attack roll.
True combat, even.
Dang it, natural one.
Oh.
Does that hit Rowan then?
I believe Fabi
No
has
critical
that.
fates.
I don't know if Fabi
No.
has that.
No. It just, it goes way out. You were like, wow, that was a good throw. Oh shit, it went out in the trees.
As you stand up, you throw it like, woo! Oh, shit.
I don't know if I'll be able to find that in the morning.
Action search. Ah, another one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
21.
Oh, that definitely hits.
Rawr.
Roll me some damage.
Let's see here. That'll be 5 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And that'll be it.
Okay.
Brother, come on, brother. Oh.
It's okay.
I gotta say, seeing the facial expressions is so much better. Just listen.
Nora, it is your turn.
Okay, let's see. I don't really want to bother with those guys. I'm gonna move my moonbeam to the goat.
Zigot.
The goat.
Okay.
It's only 5 feet, so it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
actually hitting anybody
Okay.
else. And I'm also going to move back slightly.
I don't want to be great. Oh, man.
Actually, I'm gonna move next to Andrew's, Hans, and Franz.
And kick him.
No, she used her action.
I
to
used
move
my
the
action. I
moonbeam.
can't do.
No,
Oh,
I
it's an
know.
action to move.
It's an
Yeah.
action to move moonbeam.
Yep.
Moonbeam's-
It's,
it can be a bitch, but
but it's also helpful in
Yeah.
certain
Oh, yeah.
circumstances.
Oh,
So, that's my turn.
The satyr is gonna go. Now, DMs, I need a ruling. Can a creature who's carrying another creature disengage?
sure. Mm-hmm.
Okay. He's only got 20 feet of movement carrying though, so he's going to disengage and then move 20 feet away from.
What's his carrying capacity? Is way more than 120. It's when you're grappling somebody, you move at half speed.
Oh.
If you're carrying somebody unconscious, if you can carry them without being overburdened,
He's got a 12 strength score, so
Yeah, he can easily.
carry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's gonna disengage and carry her 40 feet towards the woods.
Yep. How does Sentinel work with disengaging
they
targets?
cannot disengage.
They cannot, so Rowan gets an attack of opportunity on it.
Oh yeah.
Get it, boy.
If you get it, he stops.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Bye.
So yeah, move him 40 feet away.
Yeah. So take your
Yeah.
pencil and put it end
Okay.
to end, and he goes to the opposite end of it, like full
No.
end of it.
No.
Yeah. Because it
Yeah.
inside is 30.
Inside is 30,
outside
point
is
to point
40.
is
Yeah.
40.
Okay. Yeah. So.
So like that.
Okay.
Well,
Combat's not over yet, you guys. Chill out.
It's fine.
Sounds-
You guys will rescue Una.
I was just going in jail.
I suppose outside would be 35.
Yeah.
So
It's fine. It's
shoot him over there. There
fine.
you go.
Okay. After his turn, it
What's the
is.
sprites doing? Just chilling.
The sprites are going to. It's their turn. No, actually, it's Lynn's turn. Lynn, what are you going to do?
I'm going to move towards the satyr.
Okay, so we're going to go 30 feet. Okay.
Inside to inside.
Okay.
So I'm within
And
60 of him.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Definitely.
inside.
Okay. And I am going to try Dissonant Whispers.
Okay.
I love it.
Okay. What does Dissonant Whispers do?
Okay, you whisper a discordant melody that only one creature of your choice within range can hear, racking it with terrible pain. The target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it takes 3d6 psychic damage and must immediately use its reaction, if available, to move its... Oh, shit.
Yeah, I was kind of like,
Yeah.
okay.
But, let's see here.
Go. I'm going to roll. What's your save?
15.
15.
Or 14.
14.
14.
And what kind of save is it?
Wisdom.
He makes it.
Okay, well then he takes half.
So he doesn't move.
Right, half the psychic damage.
Yeah.
11, 12, so he takes 6 psychic
Oh,
damage.
crap!
Ooh, how much was it?
6.
6? Okay.
Well, it's 12, but
Okay.
he made the
Alright.
6.
Alright. Takes 6 and is racked with horrible pain.
So-
Okay. Una, it's your turn and you're still asleep.
And I got my kill. I'm happy. I hope you mark that down.
Oh shit.
Wow!
I have a job to do.
That sprite was deadly! It was putting rocks in Nora's
The
bed!
sprites are going to both try to shoot at Lynn. One of them completely misses with a natural 1. The other one does a 15 hit your AC? Okay, then it's gonna do... Oh my god. It does 1 piercing damage.
Wow! His 12.
Wow!
And I need you to make a constitution saving throw for me.
My wisdom is my highest stat.
This is where sprites suck! Go to
Oh.
sleep.
6.
They're putting you to sleep?
No, she's just poisoned for a
Oh.
minute.
Ugh.
Oops.
Well,
Oh.
Wait.
is it sleep poison?
What was your saving throw?
6?
Okay, you're not put to sleep.
If you fail it by 5, you're put to sleep.
Oh.
That's fine.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, okay.
She only had to roll 1
But
But there was no bow on the other one? I could have had sleepy darts?
I can't do anything
It's part
for
of
a minute,
Fey
or-
magic.
Poison basically means you have disadvantage on
Attack.
rolls and ability checks.
And saving throws.
Is it?
No, I don't think it's saving throws.
Well, I mean,
Hang on.
It's
it's on the DM
Yeah.
screen there, honey.
Yep.
Poisoned has a disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks.
Oh, okay, so not saving
yeah.
throws. Lucky you, lucky.
Okay.
Little duck.
Next up in the initiative, we have a row 1.
Oh, a Rowan. I
Rowan.
heard Rogue One.
How far?
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
He's 40. He's
45.
45 feet away from you. If you move up, if you charge up to him, you wouldn't get an attack. However, you would be able to do Sentinel against him again.
Or you can
I
kill
have
the
30
sheep.
feet.
You can dash,
Which
is
is
what
dash.
you're
Yeah.
saying.
So
You can dash.
That's what. Yeah.
don't you have
Catch
extra
you.
movement as a barbarian?
Not yet. Not till
Not-
fifth level.
Oh, okay.
And that's only
Next
5
level.
feet.
We're so not close yet, but that's okay.
The D&D player wants to save his friend. The Rowan wants to stay close to his sister. But she seems okay.
Do you need help making this decision?
Rowan, go!
No, yeah, I think.
Rowan, go!
I think I'll movement dash
Okay.
and just like get in front of him.
Okay. Like within 5 feet of him, so like
Yeah.
you get your sentinel, he moves.
I think
Just, like, move
goat
around
guy
him.
Gets up.
Yeah, the goat gets an attack.
yeah.
weapon.
Yeah, that's fine.
Try me!
What's it?
Maybe it has sentinel and you're not allowed to move.
A 19 hit you?
Yes, that does hit.
Okay, let's see.
Wham!
Ow, that's my butt.
So then you don't have to dash. It gives you the extra 5.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think I need to not use small dice because
No,
I
use those.
have
keep
a
using
really
those.
hard time.
Just keep using those.
Okay,
It's fine.
3 plus.
I really want to get the ones with water.
3.
Now.
You get
Thanks
6
for that,
points
Aaron.
of bludgeoning damage.
Oh,
Uh,
man, back that
Divided
Kickstarter.
by 3.
2.
Divided by
So
2.
it'd be 1 point.
That'd be 2.
Being
No,
No, it's 6.
Oh yeah,
Right,
6.
so
So yeah.
I was trying to divide it and write 3 at the same time.
Because you knew the answer, so you
Yeah.
divided by the answer.
I was like, that's already halved or not?
Okay.
He broke time.
Next up is Hans and Franz's turn. Oh no, wait, it's the giant goat's turn.
Uh-oh.
It's
Alright, it needs a con save
Moonbeam.
of 13. Or
God, this thing's rolling amazing.
why?
To save, but terrible.
It's a 19. This makes it.
Slow down. Whoop.
Where'd it go?
You guys haven't done any damage to this thing yet, have you?
Right.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
So it'll take 7 damage, 14 halved.
And
What'd it do?
it's gonna charge after Rowan.
Okay.
Its master. So
How far is movement? 40?
its movement is 40.
It won't be able to get to me.
Yeah, it won't be able to make it, but it's gonna just run
Right.
towards them.
Like
Ba-dum.
there-ish.
Yeah, you guys are there. Okay, Hans and Franz, you would get an attack of opportunity on it.
What I didn't think I moved, because when I moved the pencil-wise,
Yeah,
I
'cause
wasn't
when they
face to
split the
face.
moon-
Oh, okay.
down,
You were
we
there was
kind
a
of
5.
moved it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Then it's me.
Yeah, then it's you.
Now I'll go over and wake up my brother
All right.
because I realize he's stuck asleep.
Brother, come on! They're taking away Una!
Just fine. Like
So however much, and then
13.
then the rest of the movement, I'll
Okay.
Because I think it would have just been 5 to get adjacent to him,
Yeah.
Yep.
and then
So-
5
Not-
back. So then...
Not
go
through.
around the moonbeam, not through the moonbeam. That thing burns.
So you probably have.
It burns when I...
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, shit.
How much movement do you have?
It's just 30, so
Okay.
over there.
Okay.
Oh, hello.
You came into my threat range.
Attack
It's
of
an
opportunity.
It's an opportunity. All right. At the top of the initiative, Nora.
I'm going to first move forward. I was right there. I don't know how far.
You can move up to about where
Okay.
Hans and Franz is.
Probably like right
Yeah, right
behind
behind
him,
him.
basically.
Technically square.
Of course.
I'm gonna be about right there.
Okay.
And then for my
Action.
this I will move to
The goat.
the goat again.
That's poor goat. You didn't sign up for this
And I'm also going to use my bonus action to mow my spirit aura to keep you guys within it.
shit.
Okay.
Um.
That's 30.
And it can go, I can move it up to 60 for both of them.
But
so.
it's a 30-foot radius.
It is a yes. So
It's big.
Sure.
it'll basically get
Yeah. If it gets
Yeah.
to me, it'll get to everyone else.
it'll get to everybody.
Except for brother.
Except for
Yeah,
brother.
He's waking up.
Yeah,
It's your turn?
that's it. 'Cause I can't reach anybody.
Andrew, your character wakes up.
The fuck?
Brother, they're
I'm gonna give
taking
you a
away
chance.
Una.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
Unless you wake
will
up,
use
too.
half my movement to stand up.
Nobody's getting
Okay.
hurt, so.
And then I will move 15 feet towards them.
So here.
And then I will dash. So another 30 feet.
Okay.
Okay. And then from here, I will use my Channel Divinity, which doesn't use an action or a bonus action. And I will Champion Duel.
Channel Divinity is an action.
No, this one is not.
Depends.
Oh.
It'll
This one
say
says
as a bonus action, as an action.
Okay.
It's
This
just a
one-
feature.
What does it
just
do?
is
So I issue a challenge that compels other creatures to do battle within with you. Each creature of your choice that you can see within 30 feet of you must make a wisdom saving throw. So
Each
saving
creature?
throw that I choose. And I'm only going to choose him.
Okay.
Pikachu, I choose you. Wisdom,
You
what's your
don't want-
DC?
You don't want all of them to swarm you.
That's 12.
Wisdom, 12 wisdom. What's your wisdom? Yeah, okay.
And this isn't a spell, just so you're
What is it?
aware. 12.
Fucking son of a bitch, it worked.
Okay.
It has a 0 to wisdom and I rolled an 11!
On
No,
a
what
failed
is it?
save, a creature can't willingly move more than 30 feet away from me, so you probably can't move at all
Okay.
away from me. This effect ends on the creature if I'm incapacitated, die, or if the creature is moved more than 30 feet away from you.
So if it's forcibly
okay.
Like if
moved,
she did the Dissonant Whispers, it would
made it run.
Okay.
So,
Don't do that.
She might not know that.
Well, she doesn't.
nope.
What is
So,
what does
yeah,
Hansen
so-
Front say
yeah,
to
so
issue
I was
this
like,
challenge?
come
Yeah.
running up, I go, you, don't fuck her.
Probably
You-
not wrong.
Goldman, get back here and fight me. Run away like a bitch. Get back here.
Okay. It is his turn. So he can't move.
He can't move 30 feet away.
Wait.
Yeah, he
can move closer, but not away.
Or circle around me.
Yep.
He can't move more than 30 feet away from me.
I think he will use his free action to, like, he'll look at you and he'll kind of like, alright, drop Una.
No, I thought, are you Satyr or the goat?
Satyr.
The satyr,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Drop
Man.
Una,
Okay.
and then he'll use his, he'll use his action to disengage and then kind of circle towards you a little bit. So,
Okay.
like, he'll go
Wham!
this way. Yeah.
Didn't say please.
That's a 23.
That, for
Put him back.
sure hell, sure does hit.
He ain't going nowheres.
Alright, what's your damage?
That is a. That is a 6 plus 2 is 8.
8
No.
points of
Yep.
damage?
Yep.
Rowan, how do you want to do this?
Yeah. So he starts to turn away, and Rowan takes his axe and sinks it in, like, right around the clavicle,
Mm-hmm.
and just, like, throws him to the ground.
No!
He's trying to move away, and you're like, like
oh,
a
yeah,
crook
you launch him
bladed
back.
one.
Yeah, you literally launch him back and you hit that part of his neck and his shoulder and just blood splurts out and he just kind of makes a pathetic little and just falls over, bleeding out. And yeah, he dead. He dead.
So we have the goat and the fake spirit.
Go and the face spirits.
So after the satyr,
After the satyr, it's Lynn's turn.
You got two motherfuckers shooting at you, yo.
Okay, me and Hans and Franz are more than 10 feet away from the sprites.
Yes.
Yes.
You're close to them. And they just saw their boss get murdered, and they're kind of looking a little bit like, ugh.
Kind of looking like
Well.
they should probably do it pretty soon.
I'm going to cast Shatter. I'm going to
hit both of those
Hit
silly things.
both of them right
Wham!
there.
Mm-hmm.
And I need each of them to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Which sprites are one for that.
Yeah. Fragile little bodies.
Yeah.
Excuse you?
Oh my god.
Which one?
Both
No,
of
roll.
them.
Carry on.
Roll.
No,
So
which
that
one?
is 11, 12, 13 points
Is there fairy dust everywhere?
This
Yeah.
is how you make fairy
They-
of
dust.
thunder damage.
Yeah. They literally looked like they were about to just start flying away, and all of a sudden this rumbling happens, and they kind of like, huh? From the thunder. And then their bodies just start shaking and explode in puffs of glitter. And there's like nothing left of them. You overkill them.
Oh, they look like kitties.
The sprites are dead.
Gotta go, you guys.
Knock it down,
Look at me!
I mean, dinner? Dinner?
No.
Goat?
Yeah,
Goat?
goat's good.
Oh,
Goat's pretty good.
And then.
And then it is Una's turn. You're
Can't
still
I move
asleep.
still?
Yeah, you can move still if you want.
No idea what's going on.
Oh, can we go?
Rowan, it's your turn. There's just the goat left in front of you.
Sorry, Una. I'm gonna step forward and.
Go for it.
Kill.
Una's just having a nap.
Wakey,
It's probably like a
wakey.
weird nightmare thing happening right now. Of all of a sudden she was up and
We just
then
like
it's
don't wake her up
yeah.
either.
Oh yeah.
Just leave like throw a blanket over. It's fine.
You're sleeping. I'll let you stay
She's all
sleeping.
tuckered out.
I guess, how long does the spell persist even if he's dead?
It's technically
Yeah,
not a spell.
but it's not, it'll end.
It's
It has
a
an
thing.
ending.
It's a lullaby.
23.
That definitely hits.
Lamb chops. Goat chops. I mean, we could have
10.
2 or 6 legs.
10.
10 damage.
Oh my god, this thing's not quite dead yet, but it's close.
get the killing blow.
Thought I'd get 2 this round.
It's the goat's turn.
Alright, it has to make a con save.
Darn it!
No.
I got 1 and I was asleep.
What's
so.
your DC?
13.
13. Again, an 11, so 12, so it's gonna take full damage. And
Ooh.
probably be dead.
11.
Where you at?
You hit it with the moonbeam, and the goat kind of was like angry, and then it looked confused, and then it looks like its brain is fried by the radiant damage, and then it just kind of falls over, charred, looking a little bit radiated. And you guys are out of combat.
At least it's already cooked.
It needs some radiator fluid. Yay!
Winner, go to dinner.
Good job, you guys. You killed a satyr.
Yay!
3 pixies, sprites, including the one Una killed earlier, and a large goat, or giant goat.
Goats are good eating, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Does someone want to
The
leave
horns
bodies?
are actually
Says
really
Sleepy
good
Una.
items.
Yeah, Rowan would come over and after he's calmed down a
Opponents,
little bit.
that's the word.
Una, it's time to wake up.
I'll loot the satyr's body.
Okay. Una, you're looting the satyr's body. He doesn't have anything except for some leather armor, a short sword, a short bow, and then a small little reed instrument that you think look like panpipes. And that's what he has on. The goat obviously has lots of meat, lots of hair, and lots of horns.
Anything
Take
on
all
the
the hair.
obliterated pixies?
Just the hair, not the skin.
There looks like some charred, a little charred baby longsword and short bow.
Made out of babies.
Yes.
Jesus. I'm glad we killed these
These things
motherfuckers.
are
Yeah,
fucked.
really.
Jesus.
Thanks for the inspiration.
You're welcome.
Are we kind of like
should
calmed down now?
follow-
Yes.
Yeah. Can we follow the satyr's tracks back to wherever he came from to see where he brought these random people?
It's daytime now, so yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think we should
We got like 2 more
minorly
hours.
sidetrack and see if we
2
can
more
find
hours
out where
of
he
daytime?
kidnapped these people.
You mean nighttime?
Nora also just realized that you look completely different now when and she just kind of like looks at you and she's just kind of like staring, but not like in a creeped out way, but also not in a joyful way. She's just kind of staring.
Rowan
Hi.
sees you staring.
Hi. Top of the morning to you, Nora.
This is Lynn's normal form.
I'm Lynn.
Lynn, your eyes and your hair and your skin, it's all so
I'm
white.
not scaring you, am I?
No, you're like my moonbeam.
I've never been called a moonbeam.
Yeah,
You're
you're just
so
like my
nice, just
moonbeam.
like it seems.
You are on point with your rhymes.
Yeah, you really are.
I'm with the times.
Yeah, so you
It's
wanna-
still early dawn. You guys.
Yeah, I
probably
want to try to track where the satyr was just to see if we can find the kidnapped people. I don't want to waste too much time, but
Okay. Give me a survival check.
guys.
They probably
Do I get advantage with Andrew, Hans, and Fran's help?
Yes, ma'am.
No.
I'll help.
Are you trying proficient in survival?
I am.
All right, then yeah, you can get advantage.
2.
Well, that's better, and that is a 9 plus 4, so 13. That was not a good advantage. I rolled a 2 and a 9.
There's
Can't ruin her.
some tracks. You walk for about 20 minutes around the campsite looking for where they might have come from, and it kind of looks like there's some that are going off into the north. Where you hear that? Look like they're going off into the northwest of it.
I mean, we're kind of going that way. We could.
You mean where that purple forest might be?
We're past the purple.
No, you're in
No,
Cutter's
we're in
Grove.
Cutter's
You're-
Grove.
We're
you're-
just
yeah,
outside
you're-
of Cutter's Grove.
I mean,
Yeah.
we need
You guys
to
are
kind of ish go in that direction. We do a small detour.
You guys
right.
are probably like here outside of
Yeah.
Cutter's Grove.
I mean, are you guys okay with making a small detour to see if we can find those missing villagers?
Yes,
Well,
of
I mean,
course.
they tried to take you, so
Yeah.
they probably took some other people.
I would, I guess, try to continue my search and using Spriel to see if he can help too.
Okay.
So,
Go ahead and make 3 survival checks for me.
all with advantage?
Yeah, because
I'll help.
Okay.
I will help you search.
Okay, so that's a 19.
Okay.
That's a 20.
Okay.
And that is a 23.
Holy fuck. Okay. You managed to pick up the trail a little after that wide perimeter. You did. And you start going a little bit northwest, and you manage to find a big hollowed out tree. And
Like, big enough for me to fit in, Hollow Tree?
bigger, yeah.
Holy crap.
And
Jeez.
at first it doesn't seem like it would be anything other than a tree, but then you know that there's like tracks leading to it, and you kind of start feeling around, and there's a little knobbin, and you touch it, and it pops
What's a knob?
open.
What's a knobbin?
I like a little knot.
It
I
pops
got you.
open. Yeah,
Yeah, I got it.
there's a little doorway that pops open in it.
Can I like look at the door and make sure it's like not trapped or anything?
Sure, give me an investigation. Are you looking at it, or are you touching it and like feeling around?
I'd probably look before I touch.
Okay, then give me a perception check.
I'm not very perceptive. That is a 6.
Alright, you go, you're like, looks alright. Is anyone going in the door first?
I will.
Okay.
I guess I'm leading the charge. I can see, you can't.
I have a drift
Stay away.
globe.
Una's gonna go in.
Okay. Roll a
Hans and
make
Franz
a
is right behind
Make
her.
a dexterity check for me, or a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, that's a 4.
Did you need me to also make it because I'm behind her, or is this just
No,
a
it's
single?
just her. It's when you're trying to like feel to push the door in a bit more. Your hand catches on a little, looks like a thorn branch, and
Ramble.
you make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Satyr poison.
12?
You feel really drowsy for a second, but then you kind of catch yourself. You're like, oh fuck, what was that?
Don't touch the thorns.
Oh, there are thorns.
Put my hand.
Excuse me, Una. Let me handle this.
How big is the door? Is he able to like
Yeah,
get
you
past
can fit
me?
through it. It's gonna be a tight fit for Rowan, but you know, a large goat fit through the door too.
Hans and Franz just boots the door.
Okay. You kick it open, and it looks like there's a small 10 by 10 room, and then some stairs going down.
Okay.
Go down.
Okay.
Hans and Franz is in front. With the drift
Right
globe.
behind him.
Okay. You send the drift globe down, and it's lighting the way.
You said it's just difficult for me to get through.
Yeah,
It's
we're
a
all
little,
just
it's a little bit of a
down.
tough squeeze for you, but you can walk normally. It's just you're like, oh, this is a little confined space.
I'll just sort of like hunker down a little bit.
Guys are walking down the stairs. It's like a little bit of spiral staircase, and you feel like you go down about 100 feet, and at the very bottom of it, there is this like grotto kind of cave opening, and there's like a pool in there of water, and there is
Wrong door.
Stone door, not wood door.
There's some grass, some trees, and there looks like there's a interesting looking tree growing here, and it looks like there's six lumberjackers.
That have been turned into trees?
No, they're just sitting
Oh.
there. They look really hungover.
You said there's a pool of water?
Yeah.
Una would run over and give them all, each one a good berry.
Hans and Franz is going to check the water.
Nora wants to see if she can recognize what kind of tree it is.
Okay. Well, give me a perception check, and you give me a nature check, and you're giving them all good berries. So they all start slowly coming to consciousness. Massive headaches. Perception.
15. He's just kind of kneeling at the edge, and he, puts his hand into the pool and, smells it, see if it smells like water, tastes it, see if it tastes like water, that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's spring water, but it's very refreshing spring water. It has a little bit of a, kind of like, not magical, but you know this from like when you've made holy water before, you've prayed for holy water. It's like when the holy people in your village would pray over water, it would be blessed. So you think it's like this is just naturally blessed by nature.
Okay.
In spring.
So yeah, he would kind of make a declaration.
This is blessed water.
And he takes out his vial of holy water.
Comparing.
What about you with what was yours?
22.
Oh gosh. Okay. You're studying it for a bit, and it looks like there's these very interesting berries on it, and you're kind of sniffing, and you're like looking at the leaf formation. And you think about it for a minute, and you're like, I know what kind of tree this is. This is some sort of a fairy tree that is known to make incredibly strong ass wine. Like it is one cup of it.
Wine.
Real good ass wine.
Yeah.
Oh.
Strong.
I love me some ass wine. It's good.
Yeah, it's real good.
I'm sorry.
Look, just because that's how you absorb nutrients, tree boy.
Nora wants to go ahead and just start picking a few of the berries and just gathering enough to make like what she would perceive as like a jug of wine. She would basically just be gathering a bunch of berries.
Yeah. You see some little, what's the word I'm looking? Pitchers and everything too that are made out of like, brass that look like they had some kind of well-drunk alcohol and then like sloshed over on the ground from probably the night before.
She'll probably use one of those to fill with berries.
Hans and Franz is going to go over to one of those lumberjacks, maybe even the one.
Yeah, Una's been waking them up.
Waking them up.
Wake me up!
What are you doing here? What did the satyr bring you here for?
Oh my god. Is he gone?
Yeah, we killed him.
Oh, thank God. I haven't been home.
Which god do you thank?
Will you kill me if I answer the wrong one?
I can't tell you that. They might change your answer.
No, he won't.
Sorry.
No,
what were you doing here? Were you just drinking and eating?
it wasn't by choice. He put us to sleep and brought us back here on that massive goat. His thing was a monster, and he said his name was Gibbous, and he really just wanted to party all the time. I've been drinking for 2 weeks straight. I'm so miserable. Please just let us go home. We're all tired. I miss my family. Oh God, I don't ever want to drink alcohol again.
I have a question.
Yes.
So, does holy water have any sort of cleansing properties?
You know it's used in spell components. But it doesn't have lesser restoration.
Well, sure. I was just like, if these guys have only been consuming alcohol, they're probably very dehydrated.
Yeah.
So Hans and Franz would, take out his water skin and just try to get them a little refreshed here.
Okay. The good berries have helped a bit with that too.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, oh, the hangover is getting better.
Yeah, drink this, and he, gives them the hit whatever, whatever might be in there.
He's kind of looking at all of you, and then his eyes kind of latch onto you, Lynn, and then you, Una, and he's like looking at your wind instruments, like, you're not gonna play that, are you? Please no. Please no. No. No.
It's okay.
I would
okay,
then leave
friend.
and then start and see if I could find like a chest or a bed or something that the satyr may have slept on, or like a small little treasure box
give me-
hidden in the corner.
How are you looking for it? Are you looking for like secret compartments? Are you trying to?
Kind of maybe see where like the satyr may have slept, or
Okay.
like if we passed it, or like even in that first room, if I saw like a place where the satyr may actually sleep.
Like keep all their stuff.
Yeah, keep his stuff, his belongings, or if there's like another kennel or something.
Give me a perception check.
God.
She's searching, I think, at the investigation.
Yeah,
Ooh, which one? Investigation or perception?
let's do investigation. I think.
It's an 18.
Okay. You're looking around and everything, and you find that like attached to part of the tree and another like part of the cave that just has like a little bit of a stalactite is tied. It looks like a hammock, and then there's a small bag next to it, but it just looks like it's got snacks in it. It doesn't really look like he has any gold or anything.
Shucks.
Is there any other way out of this room?
Not that you can see.
I'd start, come on, let's go. We have things to do.
Yeah. It
And I'd
took
start
you, this was
pushing
about
him
an hour
Detour.
hour to 2 hour detour.
Okay, well,
Okay.
Luna's
Get
gonna
out
get him
to
up the
find
stairs and
Yeah, Hans
point him in the way to go.
Make sure that they're all hydrated. Once
Mm-hmm.
his water skin is empty, he's gonna go fill it with blessed water.
Okay. Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag blessed.
Yeah, Rowan would probably splash his face with it a little bit.
It feels nice.
Rowan,
Lynn
dip your
just
feet
kind
in
of
there.
looks at the pool of
You're gonna get
water
a
and
lot of
sighs.
holy.
Nora's just
Are you pretty
avoiding
sure?
it at all
It's,
costs.
why are you? Why is Lynn sighing?
Well, because she thought she had maybe found
Okay.
the fountain of youth.
Sorry, it was wood and not rock. I
But-
can't do anything. Go,
but-
I
I
feel
know,
so
she's
bad.
just a little sad.
But maybe this is what your family was looking for.
No, it was very, very clear in the story that it was a door in the rocks.
Well, it could be that throughout the years, people have changed where it's located in the stories so that people don't find it when they're looking for it.
Can I ritually cast Detect Magic while we're down here too and waiting
Sure.
for these guys to get out?
Yeah.
I'm assuming we get a ping. Do we get a ping from the water as well as the tree?
Yeah, you get a ping from the water in the tree, but otherwise there's not really anything else magical in here. The tree itself is giving off a faint magic aura, but yeah, there's nothing else.
Okay. Covering all my bases.
Yeah, you're like, I want to find some treasure, damn it!
Is that good?
Hey, Una.
Mhm.
I have all of these berries. Do
Mm-hmm.
you think we should put them in the
Bag of holding?
bag of holding, or
Sure.
okay?
She's just gonna open it up.
Nora's just gonna like,
Did he put them in like the brass jug?
yeah, they're in like
Okay.
a brass jug,
Yeah,
so
then-
she's just gonna like,
Are you tying anything over the brass jug so they don't
You know
just
you
spill
probably
out?
want-
yeah,
cover
she's
that.
like covering it with like a piece of cloth and like, she has some like
No,
rope.
there's just some loose
And so,
berries in there.
yeah, there's just
Yeah,
gooseberries.
so
in it.
like,
So she's like tying, like putting it over the top and then tying it with like a little
Okay.
piece of rope.
Sure.
because I was gonna say, in our friend Dan's game, we have a bag of holding we got from some halflings, and they used to use it to store all of their wool in. So he makes us roll a percentile die, and the item always comes out, but there's a chance that a piece of wool will come out because they thought they cleaned it all out, but they couldn't guarantee. So
There you go.
I could have had that. With, you guys could have
but
had that
that
with
ruins
berries.
the fun.
Right,
Right.
We could have had that with berries.
right.
Start feeling a little bit tipsy every time
Yeah.
I pull something out of the bag.
Yeah.
Seems to be a good berry.
You have to ferment them a bit. They have a little bit of an intoxicating potion, but unless you ferment them,
I'm guessing
properly,
they just kind of taste like a sangria, kind of like
Yeah.
a grape, kind of.
Like it probably would give you like
Sangria
it would-
grape?
Yeah, like sweet,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
a very
like sangria sweet?
yeah. If
Yeah.
you eat one right now, you know you would have like a small buzzed effect for like about
Okay.
5 minutes, but it wouldn't be like very strong, and it would go away.
It's like a loaded gummy bear.
yeah,
One ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah, just
like
give
a
it
Jello
kick.
shot.
And it
One
depends
ain't gonna
on
do nothing.
how well you take your drinks. Like Nora probably would get feel slightly buzzed, but not intoxicated. But like, if
It would probably take 2 or 3 for
Right.
me, or like 5 or 6 for them.
yeah. Okay.
Get them up out of the tree, shoo them on their way, point them in the direction, and then we're gonna start headed towards Windale.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You all from Cutter's Grove?
Yes.
Okay, well, it's that way.
Thank you.
Stay away from, musical people.
Oh, believe me, when we go back to town, we're gonna have a rule. There's gonna be no music in the town ever.
Their
Well, that's a
ranger
bit
must not be
extreme.
very
This
good.
is where Footloose starts.
Now we just need the hero Kevin Bacon to transfer to Cutter Grove High School.
Yep. So I realized their ranger must not be very good in their village if we found them and it's been
An hour?
yeah.
They probably weren't looking very hard.
But that was her job. Maybe she just needed to get laid.
That
Wait.
could be.
Where
But
was
then
their
she
ranger?
won't
Where
get
was
paid.
that?
She was looking for these guys and we found them, so not a very good ranger.
Well, what if she got taken
She wasn't down there.
Did you say bacon?
to a different place?
Here, have a taste. Sorry, Christy's her rhyming is spreading.
I mean, maybe, but this is the only place I can track the satyr to, and it wouldn't make sense if you'd bring them another place.
Look, you got a potty den, and then you got a party den somewhere else, right?
Did I see any other footprints, like leading any place else, or was everything kind of coming from this tree?
It looked like there was a lot of footprints, and the only reason you found it was because you just rolled super well. Like, you rolled incredibly high.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe her goddess will protect her or something. Or maybe she's no longer a virgin, so her goddess...
That's what I'm concerned about.
Well, I mean, but I don't know where to look for her at this point.
Gonna go for an extra 2 hours back into Cutter's Grove. Excuse me, ma'am, are you a virgin? Did you piss off your deity?
I mean,
Gotta check all
I don't think
angles.
we can do anything else. I think we should just keep going. We already wasted 2 hours.
Wasted. We saved.
How many people?
6.
We saved 6 people. That's not a waste.
No, but that just put us 2 hours behind the 3 that were kidnapped.
Look, you save everyone that you can on the way, and you'll get to everyone else
Roll me
when you
an-
can.
Roll me an intelligence check.
Ooh. Sarah the 19, and that's not so 20.
You're thinking about it, and it was hard to tell from the tree, but now that you're putting it together, Gibbus's voice sounded familiar. When you Gibbus, the satyr. When you heard like people being carried away, tied up, his voice sounded familiar. You didn't actually see them, but you heard something. And
Cat.
you heard a male voice that sounded similar.
You know, I think that these guys were the bad guys that I saw.
What?
Well, then I guess we did solve them, and we need to go find the hunters.
What do you mean, these guys? Like the satyr and the goat?
Not the bad man.
Well, thank you for clearing that up, Lynn.
You're welcome.
You know, you did backtrack like an hour to find this tree, but you also knew that you were about 2 hours ahead of schedule, so you think that you could make it, like, you're not behind schedule right now.
No.
Because you made it about 2 hours farther than you intended to, than you planned on being able to make it, so.
Yay! Well, yeah, keep going.
Alright, we
We'd probably skip. I mean, if we went north and if we're in that purple area, instead of skipping,
You're not quite in the purple area,
Okay.
you're like around, you were here, you guys are probably like around here, so.
Then we'd avoid Rosehand and Leafton and just go right in between those two. Then.
Okay, that's what your original route was
Okay.
too, so.
Yeah, just going straight through 'em.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, give me 5 survival checks, please.
With advantages?
I'll help.
Yep.
First one is a 21.
Okay. Okay.
second one is a 22.
Jesus.
Ooh.
Okay.
That is a 15. That is a 21. That is crap. All the natural ones. 14.
Okay.
I rolled 3 natural ones.
Jesus.
In
Good advantage.
Okay. You guys are making very good time again today.
Yeah.
Now I need somebody to roll me a d12.
Uh-oh.
I got it.
I feel so bad. I get to do all these running.
12.
Hey.
Nice.
Oh no.
Why?
D12s are usually combat.
It's fine. It could be something else.
I rolled.
No.
Yeah.
You guys
Well, depends
are
on the DM.
walking,
I suppose.
and it's about midday now, and it's another really nice day today. The sun is shining through the trees. It's creating lovely shadows.
The tree spirits are smiling.
Yep, the tree spirits are smiling.
If I see any more sprites, I might pull up my bow and shoot them. Just saying.
And you
Picking
guys
them up
reach
like
more of
squirrels
like
in the trees.
a slightly more shaded part of the grove, or like part of the trees here, where it's like a bit of a grove, and it's very pretty. There's a lot of flowers and everything here. It's just a very peaceful, tranquil area. So you guys are stopping and having lunch.
Nora wants to figure out what these flowers are.
Okay, give me a nature check.
Poppies.
Happy.
This
Can
is the
I
sleep episode.
18.
Can I-
18. Okay. You're looking around, kind of like, nibbling on your sandwich or whatever, your trail rations. Or your goat, whatever you guys are eating.
We
How they
go.
Go.
No
kebabs.
So
Can I use my primeval awareness? I'll burn a first level spell slot, so I'll detect any presence within a mile of us. Once we stop
What-
in the forest.
Is it? You have to specify.
So it
Don't
says beginning of the levels, you can expend 1 ranger spell slot to focus your awareness to sense whether the following types of creatures are present within 1 mile of you: aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. It does not
Wow,
say
within a mile?
Pick one.
Okay.
Yeah, up to 6 miles, depending on how many.
Jesus. Yeah, you get pings of it around.
There's shit everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't reveal location or number, but I
Okay.
do feel.
Yeah,
Something.
you feel
You
it.
say yes. There
Yes,
are
there.
fae.
Okay.
You feel a bunch within a 6-mile radius. Just
Well,
mostly.
I'm only expending 1 spell, so
Okay.
it's only a mile.
Okay.
I have a question, honey.
Yes.
Going back to what I had
Yes or no?
said about the ram's head, the horns are a component that Hans and Franz would want to gather. You know.
Okay. You took the 5 things of ingots.
Yep.
So, did you want to do anything with that now, or did you want to wait? Because I know you were going to do it on a nightly watch, and it didn't come up last night. But you guys are taking like a little bit of time for lunch here, so.
We're taking a little bit of time for what?
Like lunch.
Like a lunch.
Yeah, like
A break.
it doesn't have to be an hour of break. It could be like 20 minutes or whatever. But you could. I was curious if you wanted to use your channel divinity
Jesus.
now or wait till night.
Sorry, the door just opened back there. I was like, what the fuck?
Thought it was haunted for a sec.
Yep. It's just the cat.
Speaking of that, I have a scary story to tell you guys after this.
Okay. Or did you want to wait?
So is it Fae? Is what I'm detecting?
Yeah, you get a lot of Fae. Fae. What was the other things? Fae.
Fae, fiend, undead, celestial, dragons, elementals, and aberrations, and celestials.
Stop it.
Basically everything.
Stop it.
I think the only thing you're probably gonna pick up right now
Is
is Fae.
Hey, I'm happy if there's no undead or fiends.
Yeah.
Aberrations.
Yeah, I could do the channel divinity. So kind of while we're breaking for lunch, Hans and Franz gets out these small ingots, and do I have narrative liberty here?
Yeah,
Lizzie?
go ahead. You
Okay.
can describe it however you specifically know that there is a prayer that you do this because you saw Angie do it in your dream,
Right.
and you know that this is the sign that she favors somebody.
And so he'll get out. He's got like a smithing hammer with him, and he will kind of lay out the ingots, and you'll see him raise the hammer, and this kind of like almost honey yellow glow just kind of falls across him. Mostly his like from his eyes and over the hammer, and when he strikes the ingots, this kind of like honeycomb anvil appears underneath, and he basically starts working a smithy just right there. And as every time he strikes, the ingots and everything kind of forms and starts to move and reshape, and he kind of does this, and you guys can try to interact, but he's like in the zone.
Yeah, no, you're Hans and Franz. I'm Rowan. I can't name this for some reason. Rowan is just not even trying to interact with you, just completely enthralled in whatever you're doing.
Nora's just watching.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's you can as he's working, instead of like a normal forge, you have like the embers and the smoke. All you smell is honey. Just sweet honey. You maybe hear the sound of bees buzzing, and after the hour and the glow fades, he is holding this very, well-crafted, honeycomb-like axe.
You did lose one.
No, not a hand axe. He picked those up. This is a battle axe, a large axe, but it over the handle is in a hexagon, and then there's all like honeycomb hexagons across the blade, and he picks it up as the glow kind of leaves his eyes and the hammer, and he says,
Rowan,
oh, okay.
this is the first step.
and he'll give you the axe.
That's beautiful, Josh.
This is a very well-crafted axe.
It is not done. I have work to do. But today, this is what I have done.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Could you narrate Nora's expression right now?
And Nora's
She's
just sitting here literally like proud sister moment, just looking between Josh's Hans and Franz and Rowan, just constantly switching back and forth like, my friends are friends and this is the best thing ever. She's just internally super duper happy, and then once she sees how happy everybody is together, she kind of like skips off and frolics in the flower and the honey.
Yeah, Rowan's just staring at it, just intently.
Lynn's just been kind of skipping around in the field.
We'll go skip together.
Nora, you were looking for certain types of flowers.
I wanted to see what kinds of flowers were in this grove and whether any of them could be useful within my herbalism kit.
There's one that particularly catches your eye, because it looks like a type of rose you've never seen before.
Ooh.
It is a purpley blue color with green flecks in the petals.
Okay. How many do I find of those?
You find,
And they don't like grow in bushes.
yeah, there's like probably like a shrub bush of them.
Okay.
So there's a bush of them.
How many like
Present?
bloomed flowers and how many buds are there?
There are, one second.
You want me to roll for it?
No, I'm trying to think of how many flowers would be on a bush. I would
Depends on how
say,
big the bush is.
Yeah, it
yeah,
depends
it's
on how big.
probably like a big bush of things where it's kind of more like
You
a
probably get
I can probably get
full.
like
Yeah,
six full
and
and
six
maybe like
full.
four.
Uh-huh.
four buds or something. Okay. Nora's gonna very carefully, just with like basically pick them, but try to keep them on slight stems so that they don't totally wilt right away. Can she tell at all what these might be useful for?
Before you start picking them, you're kind of looking at them, and give me a nature check.
Can I assist you in
What is it?
that? The nature check?
Are you
Sure.
proficient? Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
You're all frolicking together.
Changelings have a lot of skills.
Well, we're gonna not use that die tonight.
Yeah, there's not much I'm not changing.
Oh, I rolled the exact same thing.
What is it?
A 6, so 10.
You're not sure what they're used for. You're like, if I had my book, I know these are. I've seen these in a book before. There's some sort of potion that is hard to make with these.
Okay. She's gonna go ahead and take some of the. Probably keep like half of the big ones like whole, and the other one she's gonna slowly pluck the petals from them, and kind of like stack them in between some like herbalism.
Before that happens,
Oh boy.
you pick one of the roses and you're admiring it, and it's really pretty. And all of a sudden, you hear this voice from right behind your shoulder. It's like, "Lady, why do you break my tree?"
Do I see this? I would have been on patrol.
Nora would have like instantly whipped around if she.
You turn around and you see it looks like an elven man, like very fayish features, and he's dressed in green and gold. Very handsome, and he's kind of looking at you curiously like, "Why would you take a rose from me? I expected one of my own to know better."
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know somebody lived here. I thought these were just out in the wild.
"'Tis my grove. I will let you take one, but you must give something in return."
Of course, of course.
And she's going to druid craft a very delicate, because she does not know better, she's gonna craft a very delicate flower crown and try to place it on his head.
How far away is this happening? From
She's gonna basically like hold it up like this.
Are they like
thinking it's
ways
good
away?
enough?
You kind of see, like, Nora just looks like she's staring at a rose.
I'm focused on. This is just passive. I'm
Yeah.
focused on the axe.
No, she's
We don't
yeah.
see it. We just see
Nothing. You just see her staring at a rose.
We don't
Okay.
see the guy.
Okay.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Elves, man.
Is this good enough?
Old school elves.
He'll inspect it, and
It's with like flowers that she would remember from her home.
for one of my own folk, yes.
Thank
And he'll
you.
let you place it on his head.
She does happily.
It looks really good.
Thank you.
What's your name?
My name is Tam Lin.
Tam Lin? What are you doing here?
It's my grove.
Do you live nearby? I don't see a home anywhere.
We're still in the purple trees, aren't we?
No.
No.
This is my home. I am sort of trapped between the two realms, and inhabit them here and watch over the flowers in this grove. If visitors do not give something back to me that they take, though, I put a little curse on them.
Oh, if I would have known that you were here and that you were a protector of this place and that it was sacred, I would never have taken anything. But I had no idea. I'm so sorry that I didn't ask first.
Your apology is taken. You may have... He looks at the crown. You may have 3 of my roses for this crown. If you want
Thank you
more,
so much.
if you want more, I will need a little something else.
Okay.
Firstborn child. If he's an old school elf, that makes sense.
Your hair.
A piece of your soul.
Is there something that you desire?
Freedom.
That's a tricky question.
Oh, that was the wrong question.
He thinks for a minute. What would he ask for? Well, there's many things I desire. Being free from here would be one of them, but I think that would be a much greater task than you are able to accomplish, even with your friends. How many roses do you want? And do you know what these are for?
I've seen them. I want to say in a book, but I don't remember what they do. They're just so beautiful, and I think maybe I could make some use of them somehow and help my friends. But
if you give me your name, I will tell you what they're for.
Okay.
Yes.
Hold your questions
I was
until
gonna say, I don't want to
You know that there is power in names, but he gave you his name first.
Right.
You would know that. Like, okay, so even if he gets my name, I have his name. So
Allegedly.
I was gonna say, would we?
Can I do an insight check to see if he gave me his real name?
Sure.
I was gonna ask if we had any experience with this
18.
kind of thing.
He seems like he gave you his actual name.
Okay.
He kind of looks a little sad and lonely, like he doesn't really
Like he doesn't get people here a whole lot?
Yeah, and he's kind of enjoying the conversation, and you didn't just take his rose and not be ungrateful.
Okay. Well, my name is Nora. These are all my friends.
They cannot see me. Only you can see me because you hold a rose. It's key to the ingredients. This, my dear, is what is used in a special magic salve called fairy ointment.
Fairy ointment. That does sound familiar.
You kind of you know it from terms like this ointment. Humans called it fairy ointment. You know it from your potion books. Is it's something that allows you to see into the ethereal plane briefly with invisible creatures. It is a very difficult potion to make, though.
Grandma always said if you use too much fairy ointment, you're gonna go blind.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is you can't use too much of it, or you will take eye damage. And he'll say that to you.
Hail, travelers, and well met. Thank you for listening to our podcast. This is a totally new experience for all of us, and we're glad that you're here with us. Our story lives in many places, but all of them lead back to Patreon. Full episodes of our podcast are released every 2 weeks on our Patreon for subscribers only, and half episodes of our sessions are available weekly on YouTube and wherever you find podcasts starting the following week. So, if you hate waiting, subscribe to us on Patreon for early access. If you like the show, consider sharing it on Twitter using hashtag #TheWesterverse. You can also follow us all over other social media accounts named The Westerverse for updates and other RPG-related content. That about wraps it up for our shameless plugs. Now, onward, adventurers!
So does that mean if my friends touched one of these roses, they'd be able to see you too?
Yes, though not everyone can see me as I am. They might see more of a ghostly figure.
Or the true devil.
What determines that? Do you know?
It depends on who I really feel like showing myself to, and you seemed rather pleasant to talk to.
Well, thank you. You seem like one of nature, like I am, and so I'm glad that I could meet a kindred spirit. Thank you again for the roses, and I'm sorry that you're stuck here. I don't know if there's any way that I could possibly get you out of here, but
I offended a great archfey very long ago, and they cursed me to be stuck in between realms. So I must live here until that is broken someday.
I see.
Okay, I'm literally like right next to her. Do I hear her talking?
No,
I'm just staring.
Honestly, like above table, this is happening in like
A second.
seconds.
Bullet time.
Bullet time.
Magical items, man.
If you come through here, I would not mind visiting again.
Well, I'm sure I'll be back someday. we're on a mission right now, me and my friends, so I need to make sure that I complete that with them. But I can see what I can do to make it back here someday to visit you. You seem like a very nice person. I'd like to spend more time talking to you about your grove and, you know, history and things like that, too.
He'll kind of like let you. How many flowers are you gonna take?
She's only gonna take the 3.
Okay, only the 3. For this crown fair, it was a fair trade.
Thank you.
And he'll in this he's like he kind of is like, I'll send you back now, and he'll tap your hand gently, and then you kind of like snap out of it, and you're just like, oh, and you're just holding the 1 rose.
The 1? Okay. She is going to go back to the bush, and she's only going to take 1 more rose. She's going to only take 2 with her.
Okay.
So.
Alright, that was beautiful.
You kind of hear him whisper, you can take 1 more.
She's just going to kind of like shake her head with a little smile on her face and just say, this is enough. Thank you. And then she'll place them carefully into her herbalism kit. And you're probably very confused, I can imagine.
You did hear her just say, this is enough to somebody after taking.
Thank you.
Alright, put herself, this is enough. I mean, it doesn't have to be weird.
It was just like, she just like picked them and just kind of like looks at them and smiled and said, this is enough. Thank you.
She can talk to Plan too, through it after all.
Yeah, she doesn't.
Allegedly.
Do you say fire?
Are you thinking?
Well, you have to thank nature for providing what it gives. So I'm just thanking the grove.
Inside check.
I look down at the little handful of wildflowers in my hand. Thank you!
Good job! That's exactly what you should do.
Yeah, Una's just gonna be on patrol this whole time and just make sure nothing comes by, especially since you detected the presence.
Yeah. You kind of like are scanning around and you feel like the area is definitely, this little grove is magical in some sense, but it's not like threatening. It just feels like,
there's something here.
Yeah, it's like the spring earlier, or the tree. Like there's just something about nature where it's like, this has a very strong presence more than just a random daffodil flower.
Question.
Yes.
Are there any wilted flowers? Like roses?
On the bush?
Or like
Or
on the
very
ground
bush?
or anything, yeah, but from that rose bush.
Probably the ones that Una steps on.
High or low?
Not purposely.
Hi.
High? There are no wilted roses.
Darn it. Okay.
Gotta come back.
Yep.
Alright, do you want to skip with me?
Yes, I do.
Oh god. Wait a minute. And it's gonna be officially having nightmares. That's what her dream was about. Was that songs over and over again, and her just stuck in like a wheel, just unable to go anywhere.
But it's such a beautiful song. My grandma taught me.
Nora wants to go up to Rowan.
Okay, you can do that as you guys are walking through the woods.
On our way back, can we stop here again?
Sure.
I don't know how to say it to the others because I feel like they don't quite understand, tree spirits and nature as well as we do.
I take exception to that.
How do you know? You're not in this conversation.
I made the axe.
I'm talking to my brother alone. Excuse me.
Look, I gotta talk about this cute elf boy I met. I didn't know he's a ghost, but he seemed nice.
He may be 3,000 years old, but it's just like Edward Cullen. It's gonna be fine.
No, it's not.
Totally joking.
If Tam Lin sparkled, that's a problem.
Yeah.
He didn't really sparkle. He was more
had
like
a
muted.
Fey glow.
A fey glow. Muted tones.
Anyway,
But
Don't look at me.
when I touched the roses, I think he was a spirit, I think. But his name was Tam Lin, and he told me that he kind of like guarded the grove, and I had to give him a flower crown in return for some of his roses, because it's only fair, it's nature. You have to, if you take, you have to give back.
Right.
And he said that he was trapped there. I felt really bad for him. He seemed very lonely.
That is very interesting.
But he said that he would like to visit again if we ever came back. And I was thinking, if you touched a rose, then you might be able to meet him. It would be kind of nice just to make another friend.
I might have to think about that. How close is everyone else?
You were in the back before. How far in the back were you, Josh?
Oh, like we're marching now?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you guys are walking
Oh,
again.
okay. I thought we were still like in the lunch break phase.
No. Why? Was there
I'm
something
walking
else
with
you wanted
you.
to do?
Yeah, no, Hans and Franz would be in the back because...
Are you staying in your
Una.
chain form?
Una and his
Yeah.
brother are up front.
Yeah. Okay. They're probably like you're at least what, 50 feet back or like.
I don't even think we're that far back. I think
30.
we're probably from, Hans and Franz to Hans and Franz.
50, 60 feet? Because we're about
If
40
that.
feet
Okay.
in front. Well, we're 40 feet in front.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So yeah, 60 feet.
Okay. So you two are working together. Yeah. So is there a reason why
Yeah.
that's how close everyone is?
He looks a little concerned.
Sister's talking to strange fairy boys. I don't trust this.
and looks around to make sure that no one can hear him, and he sort of whispers to you, I haven't told anyone this, but do you remember when we were in Mirefield and we were fighting the ghosts?
Yes.
Did you hear anything when they would scream at us?
No. What did you hear?
One of them, the one that was right next to you and screamed at me, I got a sense that
Josh's face.
I'm sorry. This connection is horrifying me.
I got a sense that we should go into the wheat, like I told you. But that was because I heard the word wheat from the spirit. What? Rosebud. Yeah.
It's gone Citizen Kane on y'all.
I think it was trying to get us to go into the wheat. If we hadn't destroyed them, maybe we could have saved them. But I didn't know how to tell anyone, and I was a little scared to tell you because I did not know how you would react.
Because they were ghosts?
Yes. It's all a little confusing.
What were you afraid to tell me about it?
I think I just didn't want to scare you because of the fact that they were ghosts and I could hear them. I didn't know how to react properly.
You were thinking of the past, weren't you?
Possibly.
Well, I'm glad that you thought about me. That means a lot. And, I mean, you're my brother. And I'm happy that you're there to look out for me and protect me, and I can do the same for you. I don't want you to ever feel afraid to tell me something. You should be able to rely on me like that, okay?
Okay.
And that's why I wanted to tell you about Tam Lin when I met him, because I don't want to keep anything secret from you, or I want you to be able to, make friends with me, and I just don't want to keep anything from you. So.
Right. I think I was just scared and didn't know exactly what was going on, so I didn't know how to tell you, or anyone for that matter. But specifically, I did not know how to tell you. So I am sorry for not telling you.
It's okay. You don't need to apologize. Just know for next time that you can tell me anything.
Okay.
And I will admit, it's kind of strange how we've been encountering spirits more and more lately. All different types.
It makes me a little nervous, but...
Me too.
I feel like we need to continue.
I think so too.
And Rowan, he's been holding the axe. He looks down at it and picks it up and shows it to Nora and says, Hans and Franz made this for me in the grove.
I know, I saw. I was so happy for you. Do you like it?
I do, very much.
Hans and Franz does some amazing work. So, I think it'll be good for you.
I'm very excited to see what we can do with this. It will be interesting, that's for sure.
Perhaps you'll be able to use it to help save the hunters that we're going to find.
Let's hope so.
Is there anything else that you wanted to talk to me about?
No, that was all.
Okay. Well, just know you can always talk to me about whatever you want.
Okay, I will.
Okay. And then Nora's gonna go up and just kind of meander over towards Lin and just kind of be doing little druid craft of flowers and then just hand her one. And then do another druid craft of flowers and hand her another.
Can I have a flower?
Yes.
She'll hand Hans she'll stick one right behind your ear.
What kind of flower?
It's this bright yellow daisy with a black center.
Very
she
nice.
thinks of the bee, so she places it.
It's on brand.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much, Nora.
And then she's gonna go up to Una and do the same thing.
While they were
Yours is a little
walking,
blue flower.
did you guys want to talk? Did you and Lynn want to talk at all? Or no?
Yeah, I think Hans and Franz would be asking Lynn just a little bit more about, her village and what they do. If they were farmers, if they had craftsmen.
Do you have any, enchanters or magic makers where you're from?
You can make this up yourself because I have nothing about your village created. I know what we talked
I
about in your
don't
story.
know what you mean by enchanters or magic makers.
So think of a wizard, right? Someone who uses magic and creates things with magic. If you think of in Dan's game, right? How Delta made a couple of wands, or he made the cloaks for everyone. Someone like that is what he's asking about.
No, not really, no. We all have a little bit of magic. But...
What do you use your magic for?
whatever we feel like. It comes in really handy when you have a little bit of a spill and you want to clean it up. It's like, poof, it's clean.
Magic to do cleaning?
Well, like when I can be really clumsy sometimes, and like if I spill my juice on my shirt, poof, it's gone.
Interesting. Okay. It's like what you did to Nora's backpack with the blood.
Exactly.
Okay, so a lot of people have that where you're from. What else do you use magic for besides cleaning?
Well, sometimes when I go hunting, if somebody tries to attack me or something, I can use that. Or I like using my crossbow a lot.
I saw you really kind of turn those other pixies into dust with your big cacophony of thunder.
It was a glitter of kitty litter.
Very much so.
I'm sorry. I'm just like, I never would have thought of describing an exploding sprite that way. And now,
litter.
yeah. Can't.
We'll never be able to describe it any
Every
other
time
way.
I scoop out Zoro's cat box, that's gonna be my head. No, it's sprite
Fucking
dust.
pixies.
Why they keep putting turds in this box?
Goddamn tricksters.
Exactly. It's not really Zoro.
I think it was the Nargles.
Poop fairies. Yeah, oops, right. Yeah, and I think that the conversation would just be, you know, Hans and Franz asking questions about Lin's village. So.
Real quick, how much of the axe did you create?
The whole thing.
Okay.
It's just not imbued.
Okay.
It's not magic.
100% axe.
That's
So it's just one solid piece.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so
Hans and
excited.
Franz, where are you from?
I am from west of the mountains in the Iron Valley. We are a tribe known as the Bendaya.
Oh. You're a long way from home.
We are a very long way from home. I've been traveling for 13 years.
Good golly gee.
You know, actually kind of, me and my brother were talking and we were wondering where you're from, if you have encountered any magical creatures, things that would be unique. A giant bee, for instance, a great wolf, a massive bird like a nightingale.
My grandma sang a song about a nightingale.
She did.
Sing, sweet nightingale.
I was like, where are you going with this?
Oh,
No, I'm so-
thank you.
Or played on the kazoo.
Nightingale, sing, sweet nightingale.
You asked for it.
No, actually,
Well, I mean, that kind of fits what the nightingale is. It's the poet, it's the singer. It's a sacred representation from our tribe. Did your grandmama say maybe where the song came from?
Oh, let me think.
Help!
Give me a history check.
15.
Okay. Let me think. No, not a. It's kind of a vague area where they're like. I think it was maybe in like the south west of where you guys were from, like your village. You're like, maybe it originated down there somewhere, but you're not really sure where specifically.
Well, my grandma said something about like southwest of us, but I don't know exactly where. She heard stories.
If only I knew where your village was.
Right?
Okay, so she kind of takes her finger in the air. Okay, we're right here.
Okay?
My village.
You're like if you were traveling for 2 weeks, you're probably up here.
So you go like this. I'm way up here. So kind of we're southwest.
Huh.
Could be anywhere.
Okay. So somewhere around here is
I
the
don't know
singing
how-
nightingale.
I don't know how far southwest.
Maybe the bird
But
was
we are
inside
southwest.
you. The nightingale was inside you all along.
Well, I like to sing. Am I a nightingale? No,
You're
I'm
a very
a
good singer.
Oh, thank you.
I think the Nightingale would like you.
That's super sweet. Would you like some meat?
Was that goat meat?
It is.
Oh yeah, I'd like
It's so
some.
good.
Hans and Franz will give a hearty laugh and eat some goat jerky.
Okay. Una, Andrew's not here anymore right now. Is there anything you're doing specifically?
Let me just move the chair over.
I'm not really.
Hello, Una.
Is there anything you're doing anything you're looking for, anything you're trying to do while you're up ahead searching, other than scouting out?
Just making sure nothing dangerous comes near us. Seeing if I can see any tracks that might lead to signs of people. Otherwise, basically just foraging ahead as fast and quickly and efficiently as we can.
You're making good time. Give me another survival check.
Advantage?
Are you asking Hans and Franz to help you with
Probably.
this? Okay, then
Since they've been assisting. That's good. 23.
Okay. It looks like there's like animal tracks, like bunny rabbit tracks, and like, deer tracks and everything that kind of go through. And then there's other areas when you come up into an opening where it looks like there's more of a natural footpath where people who do travel through the forest kind of favor walking through here because there's less obstacles and everything.
No, like I don't stumble across like a trap or a place that might look like an ambush, nothing like that. Okay, perfect.
Otherwise, it's a pretty good day in the forest. You don't hear any more people singing "Pop Goes the Weasel." You managed to...
Do we get to the river at this point then?
No, you guys make it about like in between Leafton and Rosehand. You're probably about a few hours away from the river.
Okay. I guess. What time of day is it? Is it like?
It's about sunset now when you get to the river, or like get to here between Leafton and Rosehand.
If we keep pushing, would it be Constitution saves at that point?
Yes, because you spent about 2 hours this morning, like rescuing people. So you're not behind. Like this is where you were hoping to be by day 2 into the trip because you did so well yesterday and you made up time today. But
I wouldn't mind pushing for one, see if everyone would be willing.
Sure.
To camp near the river.
Yeah, to camp near the river.
Okay. All right, everyone, make Constitution saving throws for me.
Would I? Since I don't require rest. I'm just wondering what I.
Yeah, I'm still gonna have you roll because you can still be subjected to exhaustion.
Okay.
17.
At least we sleep and get it back, so that's nice.
Right. Con save, you said?
Con save. Yep.
15.
15.
22.
4.
Oops. You didn't get above a 12. You have 1 level of exhaustion.
Yep.
Okay.
So, do we get to the river though at this point?
You do get to the river, and it's quite big, and it is moving pretty quickly.
Can I tell how deep it is?
How are you, like, just by looking at it?
Yeah. Like how wide the river is and how maybe deep it will go?
Yeah. Let's see. Looking at it, it looks like the narrowest section that you can find is 1,800 feet across. And looking at it, you're like, you can't quite see. You're like, oh, this is a really deep river. Like, it could be anywhere between, like, it's 5 feet at least on the bank kind of area. Like, there's, like, the shallow thing. And then it gets deep where you cannot see to the bottom of it.
Holy shit.
It looks like if you had to make a guess, the current is moving at, like, 2 miles per hour.
I don't think we should cross here.
Well, there's a bridge on this map. If we just go south, follow the river south.
Maybe we should do that in the morning.
Well, or we could go north to River Meet and then cross across the mountains there, but then we would have to split ways.
Going
with
down
Lynn.
to the other bridge would be faster.
The bridge and then cut over and then go to Windale?
Yeah.
Much faster.
Because we'd have to go through the mountains then to get to the Whispering Vale.
Yeah, this is a big ass river.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's,
I mean, if this one's 1,800 feet wide, then I can't even imagine.
yeah, the Dakra is more like the Mississippi. Yeah. I actually had to look up river sizes and currents and stuff. I'm like, how tough of a river is this?
Hundreds.
I'm gonna be strength checks to get across.
Yeah. And it would be pretty hard.
It'd be drown checks.
I mean, you could try to.
Oh, you failed? You did.
Nora wouldn't even bother trying.
It could be like
water.
It could be like, if you had like, you could try to make a raft and like drift on it across. But
Well, I was thinking my disc, but my disc can't go
over water.
It can go over water.
Can it?
But only for a certain depth.
Yeah.
Yep. That's why I was wondering how deep it could be.
Oh, sure.
As long as it doesn't go. Can't move across 10 feet deep of a pit.
Oh yeah.
All right, give me an intelligence check, Una. Or how are you trying to figure out how deep it is?
I guess just experience around water.
Okay, give me an intelligence.
I mean, if I see how wide it is, how deep the center would be, possibly. Intelligence, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 12.
You're not 100% sure, but you think it's at least over 10 feet deep is the deepest.
So I have a little anecdote about an Amazon show. I think it's Top Gear, or that was the old show. One of their things was driving through Mongolia.
Oh, gosh, I remember that.
And they took these all-terrain vehicles and tried to cross this river that probably was, 100 feet across?
Yeah, it wasn't very far.
And,
totally
it, like, the depth of the river got deep real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, they almost lost their vehicles.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it was just pitiful watching these vehicles just sink, and then one of them started floating and just no, pull it back, reverse, try to grab onto the rocks and get it back out. Yeah, rivers are nasty, no matter whether it's 100 feet or 1,000 feet. They are.
Yet people still insist on swimming in the Red River.
Right.
They are not to be messed with.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, I guess sleep, take shifts again, and sleep, and
What's the shift order?
same.
We can do the same as before.
Okay.
Same shifts. Unless you want to spend more time with Len, and then I'd go with Andrew in front.
Well, I was going to see if Nora would take a shift with me.
Oh, sure.
I have some stuff I want to ask her.
Okay.
Got top.
So maybe
So
you guys should split,
So Andrew and I'll go,
and then
Rowan and Lynn,
and
then Nora and Josh Hound Brown. Works to me.
Wait,
So
who's
we're-
first?
Probably you two.
Yeah, so
So
us
the
first,
first-
Two?
And then
then
me
Going
and Andrew.
with
Hound and
Andrew,
Franz.
Hans, and Franz,
Okay.
and then
And then-
Rowan and Link.
Andrew, why did you have to be sick and leave? So, you two. The night settles in. You guys make your camp for the night. You have dinner, and everyone starts going to bed. And Josh, Hans, and Franz, and Nora, Hans, and Franz. I'm so sorry. Because I'm used to it's always been two. I'm one of the boys.
Steak and eggs.
And eggs and steak!
That's what it takes for breakfast.
And Rowan, Hans, and Franz, and Una, Hans, and Franz.
So Lynn turns into Hans.
We are Hans and Franz.
No.
So I'm sorry. Josh, Hans, and Franz, and Nora stay up for the first one.
I thought you were gonna do it.
I'm just clarifying. I'm not gonna cut that out. But that was so funny.
Oh, man. Yeah, so Hans and Franz will set the drift globe to orbit, just kind of revolving around to give him a wide area of light to just kind of see out. And he would ask Nora.
Hey Nora. So with the axe being made, I have some plans to kind of like I made my brother's sword, to kind of do that for Rowan too.
That's really nice of you, Hans and Franz.
But I think, where I put part of myself into the sword, I think it would be fitting if we figured out what you can contribute to the sword. Or The axe. Sorry.
That makes sense. I mean, I am his sister and I've been with him for his entire life, so I think I can probably find something that I can help contribute. Did you have something in mind?
Well, I mean, something that, relates to you, I think. I know you can create flowers with magic, but I think something more physical, something more real is something that we need.
Okay. Let me think about it a little bit, and
Sure.
I'll let you know, something more physical that I can contribute. Because, I mean, you offered a poem on the sword and the prayer and things like that. I mean, I don't really have much to offer in terms of things, but...
Well, there's, I love my brother very much, and that's the poetry is part of that. There's purpose that goes in line with that. So maybe when we get to a proper forge, maybe we can take the axe and you and I can work on it again. Work on the crafting of a magic item one more time.
Okay.
And I think perhaps if you just take some time to think about, what would you imbue your brother's axe with?
I think I have an idea, but I just have to... You know what? You would be the perfect person to ask this.
And she's gonna go to her backpack.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to just kind of rummage around in it, being like, what is it? And just trying to find something small. And she pulls out this tiny, pendant of sorts. And it's just a little, a round disc.
Sure.
And it's got a tree made out of Celtic knots on it.
Oh, interesting.
And it's on a necklace chain of sorts. And she's gonna hold it out to you.
Be really careful with this, okay?
What is it?
It's a pendant.
And he'll take it and he'll look at it.
And this is very, very special to me. I want to cut it in half. And if we could put that half into Rowan's axe, I think it would mean a lot to me.
Sure, I can do that.
I don't know if it'll be enough, and I mean, maybe I could contribute a spell or a poem like you did. I can come up with something, but I think that even just having this made into the axe would be just something very special.
I think I can certainly put this in the axe, and this is a good start. But I think during the enchantment, I think you need to say something to the axe for Rowan.
Okay.
Something that you can't necessarily, just say to him, but that you want to say to him. Something so the axe knows.
Okay.
But I think you should just think about that, and when we get to a place where we can do this proper, then we'll cut the pendant in half, and who knows, maybe I'll put your half in something as well. But yeah, I think that's a good place to start.
Perfect. I will hold on to this for now, and then
Yes.
I'll bring it back out when we're ready.
Okay.
She's gonna go tuck it back in her bag.
And then, for the rest of the watch, just
Give
patrolling
me
around,
perception checks.
looking, with disadvantage.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Dark.
Okay.
Oh, honey.
Blue dark vision.
11.
11.
Rather give me a goggles.
17.
17. You don't hear anything. You hear birds chirping in the distance and, the rustling of trees and leaves, owl.
The rushing of the water.
Yeah. It's quite peaceful in a way. I know you don't like water particularly.
She doesn't mind the rushing of water.
Yeah, it's kind of
Like the
it's kind of
sound.
soothing. Yeah.
She just stays on the not river side of the campfire.
In the last 40 minutes of your watch, though, you see some fireflies start appearing. They're just kind of floating around.
And then they touch your tents, and the tents start to burn.
No.
Actual fire.
All right, Atlantis.
No. They're just fireflies. It's summertime, you know that it's quite common for fireflies to kind of come out in the later parts of summer. And the weather's nice, especially they like being near water like this. So it's just a nice little visual cue. And you can see the stars a lot better now that there's a break in the trees being by the river, so you can actually see the moons tonight.
You know, in our village,
Just kind of referencing the fireflies.
when fireflies would come out, sometimes fairies would play tricks on giants, and sometimes us even. Some of the fireflies you'd see green and purple and red, and it's kind of curious, so you might follow them. But we'd follow them into the forest and get lost for days. I mean, I didn't, but my parents told me stories of, my Uncle Sven was gone for 2 weeks. There's a fairy took him out into the woods. Luckily, he was a hunter, so it was not so bad. But many times, these fairy lights would lead giants into the village, and they'd be chasing the lights, and we'd have to fight them off, scare them off. Sometimes they wouldn't leave. They'd be like, where is the fairy? Where's the lights? And we'd have to be like, it's not here. Go away. So sometimes we'd have to fight the giants, but other times they'd be like, hey, I have this big jug of ale. Anyone want a drink? So fairy lights are like tricksters. Sometimes they get us into trouble. Sometimes they bring a new friend to town. It's very crazy.
You guys sounded like you guys had a lot of really crazy fairy stories and very mischievous ones at that. We're so used to the spirits in the forest and things like that around our home where they just are. They don't really cause a lot of mischief, but sometimes you get those rare few that just kind of like to cause some trouble. I remember one time there was a kind of like they were preparing for a festival and things like that, and there were all of this entire feast was just prepared for everybody, and it was placed out on tables. It looked really pretty, and then once the elder is supposed to be the person that serves themselves first, and they went to go take a bite, and it just disappeared as they tried to eat their first bite. And it turns out that one of the these little trickster fairies had made one of the the plates and things like that into illusions, and they just love to play tricks on all of us all the time. Iron.
Everyone needs a laugh,
Every once in a while.
Sometimes at other people's expenses. Not so nice.
Happens sometimes too often, but I'm glad that right now things are peaceful. We were able to save those people today. I hope we'll be able to save the hunters too.
I was kind of worried that the satyr had maybe hurt some of the lumberjacks, but all he did was make them drink for 2 weeks. We used to have, we had feasts that would last a couple of days. 2 weeks is kind of excessive, though.
That's a lot of time to party.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd fall asleep after just one night. I don't know how he could stand 2 weeks.
It's crazy. But maybe not all these fae are trying to hurt people, right? They're just trying to enjoy life. So maybe these hunters were just taken away to another feast. Who knows?
That would be a great thing to discover. Better than any kind of bad alternative. So, I always just end up thinking the worst, I'm just such a worrier. I'm just hoping that nothing happened to them and that they're okay and that we're gonna find them alive, and it's a lot to take in. Rowan and I just came out to Fehal just to make a few extra gold for our home village, and now suddenly we're out on the road with you guys, going on these massive adventures. It's not something we're used to.
So you send money back home?
Mm-hmm.
Why do they, so does your village trade with other villages?
Sometimes. We live in the forest, and my dad, actually, Papa, he is a really great lumberjacker.
I was like, please say lumberjacker.
No.
This is what they're called in my world.
Oh, God.
No, he's a really good lumberjack and a carpenter, and he made Rowan. So he does really great work with his hands, and so a lot of the trade that we have is based off of the things that we make.
So your village is full of craftsmen?
Very much so.
Oh. I know you're not supposed to bring outsiders, but I really would like to see this village and meet the craftsmen. Because the more people that I can meet, the more craftsmen I can meet, the better I can be. Right?
I can understand that for sure. I don't really know how all of that works, and I'll be honest, we haven't talked to Mama or Papa in quite some time. It's been a little while since we've gotten a letter from back home, so maybe I could ask them and see if there's a way that we could let you guys in to learn and meet people.
I would be very interested,
There's gotta be a loophole somewhere.
I hope so.
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
End scene.
All right. Next up is Rowan and Lynn. Oh no, wait, it's Una.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's Una and Hans and Franz, but Hans and
is
Franz isn't here, so it's
Is
fine.
there anything Una's doing on the watch?
Same thing with the puppet. Let it go. Kind of play around.
Give me perception checks.
Goodness. We'll say light green is Puffin, dark green is Una.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Oh, Una.
Una can't see shit. She, I'm pretty sure, has a 7. Okay. Puffin, however, has an 18.
Hey.
There's
That's
a reason
real.
there's 2 of us.
Just the 2 of us.
See shit.
Go Spriel.
Spriel, how far does Spriel go out?
I'd have him probably go 85 feet again
85
for
feet.
me, and then he can see up to 60 feet around
Okay.
that. So.
He stands there and he kind of sees, wild animals go around through the night and everything like that. Doesn't really see any, people walking through the forest. There doesn't seem to be any, creepy fey creatures either, like what you ran into last night. It's much more of a calm evening, and your watch is uneventful. You just kind of keep an eye out through Spriel, and then Hans and Franz will kind of maybe make small talk with you a little bit.
So what do you think of Lynn?
She's starting to grow on me a little bit, I suppose. But it just seems really odd for her to be out here in the middle of nowhere on her own, and to be so far away from wherever she was planning to go.
I mean, it makes sense that she's out here by her own. In a way, she does have a slightly annoying song that she really likes to play.
That's true. That's very true. If she had friends, I suppose it might be a little bit more
Tolerant?
No, it would be a little bit more odd if people were following her while she's singing those songs. But
I do think that she's not as wise when it comes to tracking like you and I, which is probably why she's lost.
yeah, that's very true. That's very true. It was more of like a knee-jerk kind of a I don't trust this gal. Like she doesn't seem like who she doesn't seem real. She seemed very fake and whimsical, and
Well, she
turns
was.
out she is. Yeah. So, I mean, the fact that she showed us who she actually is, and filled in some of those gaps is a little bit better, but I try to trust people and give people the benefit of the doubt. So I'm gonna try and not be suspicious of her.
I do think that she just means well. I think that she's just not all there when it comes to the world.
Yeah, I don't think she's got a childlike naivety, which can be a good thing. Maybe not when you're out traveling across the countryside on your own.
I do feel that she's going to put herself into danger and possibly hurt herself on this mission if she continues to go alone.
Yeah, I mean, do we plan on letting her come with us and then going with her, or...
If she wants to come with us, I don't think that's a bad idea, but unfortunately I think she's very set on going to find the Fountain of Youth, supposedly, in some sort of mountain.
Yeah, she didn't seem terribly keen on coming with us, but I suppose it's also going to be dangerous, whatever we're doing, and maybe that's not good for her.
I don't know with her abilities how confident she is with fighting either, especially since she hides in trees when she feels like she's in danger, even if it's not a true danger.
Yeah, there's definitely some of that.
I would be very afraid that she would turn away and run, which would put her in even more danger if we were to come into combat, like if bandit.
Yeah, I mean, she did okay against the satyr. I mean, she did pretty good.
She was very helpful. From what I've been told.
But same here. My brother filled me in. But God dang it.
It's true.
No, same here. I slept through almost the whole thing. I just don't know if it's a good idea for us to leave her either. I mean, it seems like when she's in the group, she's okay. But I mean, on her own.
I did give her some pointers about her appearance, so I'm hoping that that'll help. But
what'd you tell her?
That she should stay in her changeling form when she feels threatened, and when she is with groups of people, like towns, to be her elf self. Because I think people would be more intimidated to come across her as her elf, or as her changeling form versus her elf form.
Yeah, but a single changeling in the wild may also attract more attention.
But look at that druid, or dryad that she was turned into. We were very hesitant even in her pretty form. Imagine something that was creepier in the forest.
Yeah, but we also aren't going around robbing people and killing people either.
That's true.
People like that may see a changeling as a bit of a chance, especially by themselves. If they're in a group of people and she's by themselves, or she's by herself.
Well, now she can always change into you two as well, since she's seen you before, and she seems to really like your brother's form.
Yeah, my brother's a handsome fellow. A very handsome fellow.
Does that mean you think that you are also handsome, since you guys look alike?
Oh, we don't look alike. I've got many scars where he does not. I wear and he'll kind of gesture to the snake on his hand and the feathers on his chest. I carry the burden of my shame with me wherever I go. But he's even growing up, he was the one that had the lady love. And when we went from town to town, he's a blacksmith, and he was always the one in town. The women would come by the smithy to see him work the forge. He's bulkier than I am, and while he may not realize it, I think he's the handsomer of the two of us.
I don't know. I have twin sisters, so they look alike, even though they have different markings to mark their different talents. So,
do you have any other siblings, or just
sisters? I have two twin sisters who are slightly older, and then my brother Ivor.
Ivor?
Ivor.
I don't want to push too much. I mean, you never opened up before, but you made a comment about some markings. What does that mean?
So just when they reach a certain point and they finish their trial out into the world, they're marked with a symbol that you see on my cloak with the seal chasing the fish as a full pledge member of our society that I'm from. So both my sisters, Gretchen and Cecilian, and then my brother Ivor, they all have earned their marks already.
Have you?
No, not yet.
Is that why you're here? One of the reasons?
Yes, I am on a mission for my village, which is why I am here. And I need to stay until I complete it. Otherwise, I'll never be able to get my mark.
Yeah, I mean, I know our tribe has rites of passage, things that they do. Do you get a tattoo? Is it something magical?
It's very similar to a tattoo, but more slightly raised from your skin as a symbol of pride.
So then, so they've got different ones. Is it a sign of who they are, who they're going to be?
It's their placement and their powers.
Oh.
So, like, my sisters are both druid, one who's more animal prone and the other one who's more elemental. And the one who's more animal prone wears it on her chest. So when she's in her beast form, you can see the symbol. And the one who's more air form has it on her hands, so you can see her when she controls her powers.
Oh.
And my brother, who's an archer, has his on his arm. And that is where I will hopefully get mine.
Is he an archer like you, or...?
Yes. So my mother was actually the lead ranger of our village, and my father has recently taken up her mantle. And now it is hopefully either mine or my brother's turn to surpass him.
Is your mother still around?
She passed away in a battle.
I'm sorry to hear that.
She is now with the elders, so that's all that matters.
I have no idea if my mother's still alive.
That must be tough. I know it's hard with my mother being gone. I couldn't imagine not knowing if she was or wasn't.
It really wasn't until I thought about it.
I did not mean to make you sad.
No, it's been... I don't know how much you heard the night when I explained what happened to Nora and Rowan. But because of my actions, I was exiled from our tribe, and my brother was kind enough to come with me. And that was 13 years ago. Just over 13 years ago now. And, we haven't had any contact with anybody from our village since then. We have one sister and two younger brothers. But, I mean, that we could have more now. But our mother was the chief of the village. Our father is or was the bee for the village. So with our religion, every totem has essentially a head of that totem, and they're called by the totem. So our father was the bee. He was a master craftsman, and actually an amazing poet and singer in his own right. Told a lot of stories around the fires to not only us siblings, us children, but the other people's children as part of his position. And it's been weird knowing that our father, who was very wise in the ways of our tribe, we haven't been able to learn at his knee as we did as we were children. And for me, I had recently, before I'd been exiled, had been learning more from our mother, sort of being groomed as the next chieftain, or who she wanted to be chieftain out of her children. And I obviously didn't prove myself to be that. But maybe someday. I know it was years and years later we got our mission to search out the totem spirits and do our missions for them. And there may be redemption for me yet, but I'm not going to count my eggs until they've hatched.
But it sounds like you're on the right path for a true chief.
Maybe. I mean, it's not a path, as far as I know, that any other chief has done. But for me, it's not. I want to learn to be a good leader, not necessarily by leading. I will lead if that's what is required of me now. But following is its own teacher. You know, if you can follow a good leader, you can learn a lot from them. So if I go back and somebody else is chief, that's fine too. I mean, if they're a bad chief, that's not okay. But if they're a good chief and I'm eventually allowed back in, I will. As long as they're doing what's good for our people, I will have no problem following them. Maybe my brother. Maybe he'll end up being a better leader than I am. I don't know. I see you take it upon yourself to do things either of your own volition or to try and get others to do for you. You know, you've requested my brother to accompany you on some things. Is that, you know, you said you want to be the head ranger. Is that a path to leadership? I don't know what the head ranger does in your village.
They're selected by the elders of our village, which kind of oversee and rule alongside our chief. Our chief is one who chooses the elders, and the elders chooses the chief. So you are appointed by them to these positions of power after you've proven yourself in battle and through tasks, and also how well you manage those who follow you. And my mother was a great ranger and has proven herself in many battles, and my uncles put in her for a nomination since I had one on the board of elders, and the chief agreed, and that's how she got assigned. After she passed, it was more of a need for someone to step up, and my father took control even though he was grieving and continued that legacy, and hopefully it'll be something that I can continue and or even one day become an elder myself. But at this point, it's just to see the world and understand what's around us, since once we reach the seat of elder, it is very rare for us to leave our village unless there is great need.
Well, your father sounds like a great man to overcome his own grief, to step up for what the village needed. I see a lot of similarities and mirroring between your village or tribe, however you want to put it, and mine and my brother's. So there's a ranger there. Are they all set up like that? You know, one's a ranger, one's a...
Not necessarily. You are first sorted by if you were given the gift of the sea, and then if you are, then you are usually allowed to go be a druid or a ranger, someone who has ability to protect as well as do spellcrafts. If you do not have the gift, then typically you become a healer or a scholar, someone who would just stay near the village and protect their boundaries. Sometimes those without the gift can be a druid and or if they choose to be a ranger, but are very limited.
Okay. It's very interesting. So are your people under threat a lot?
We are the protectors of the coast. It is our job to oversee and make sure that no harm comes to the tribes on the coast of humans.
What do you mean of humans?
Those who are not gifted with the blessing.
Are your people not human?
In a way.
Okay. I won't pry if you don't want to tell. That's fine.
Unfortunately, it is a secret that is not only my own, and can only be trusted with those who
That's-
I have 100% faith in. And unfortunately, I trust you all a lot, but this is...
Well, there's trust and there's blind faith.
Exactly.
And I don't expect that from anybody I've only known for a little while.
Maybe eventually, if we keep going together on this adventure, you will see.
Yeah, no, that I won't say anything to anybody else in the group. Maybe you already inadvertently said more than you meant to, and so I won't tell my brother, which would be the only one that I would tell, I suppose. So, I mean, is that going back to the leading people? It sounds like your elders can be leaders, or they can be warriors, or they can be other things. Is that what you're looking to be, though, as a leader, or just a defender?
Overall, I just want to be able to protect my village in whatever way possible. If that does get me to be an elder, great. But I just want to make sure that my village is safe. And that is all that matters. And all that I care about.
Yeah, I can...
It doesn't matter who's on the seat as long as it is someone who is understanding of our village and understands the pact that we've made and can lead our people to prosper and not bring them to turmoil.
Yeah.
And I want to protect my people.
Yeah, that's, I can relate like 180% on that one. If you ever do require help, don't be afraid to ask. Also, just something that I've picked up on in my years, out in the world and growing up, is that sometimes the best shield can also be the best leader. So protecting may be a way to lead your people.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
My goal at this time is just to finish the task I was given and get my mark.
Well, if you need any help with that.
I may require assistance if needed, but unfortunately it is a very quiet matter that is also family related.
Well, sometimes in order to do something quiet, you need something loud to happen somewhere else. I may not be quiet, but I can be a distraction.
I appreciate your assistance. I do appreciate it, but...
You don't have to tell me what's going on, but if you ever do need a distraction, just point me in a direction.
I appreciate your assistance and your willingness.
Alright. Yeah, so Lynn and Rowan, you're the last watch.
Hello, Lynn.
Hello, Rowan.
It was very nice to meet you.
Oh, it's super duper nice to meet you too.
I'm glad that you could come with us on this adventure. So, what kind of experience do you have with people looking at you differently?
They normally just get like super scared looks on their faces, and it kind of makes me feel sad.
I know how that feels. People always look at me like I'm some very strange creature that I'm sure that they have never seen before. I have never seen one until you turned into me earlier.
She kind of turns into a similar you again.
I think you are fascinating, Rowan.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And I think you are fascinating as well. I have never seen it. You're called a changeling?
Yes.
You are very interesting.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm not very scary, but the stories that were told.
And I must say, your appearance that we first met you in, while beautiful, I think I prefer this one.
Oh, thank you.
The you, but slightly more flowery.
Yes. No, the white. the white skin of it, yeah.
Most of my village is Well, they don't do a lot of changing.
They stay in their normal forms?
They find just one form and they kind of keep it, and I don't know, they kind of hide the changeling. And I think it's the coolest thing since sliced butter.
Oh man, she's faltering.
As much as I don't like when people look at me strange, I don't think I would ever want to change how I look. And that's not to say that I don't like what you do. It's very interesting. But over the years, and specifically over the last few weeks with my new friends, I've grown to accept who I am as they do. And it makes things a little bit easier. So I think if you and the rest of the people in your village can accept who you are, then everything would be a little bit better and everyone would be a little bit happier.
That is such a great way to look at things. You're very positive, you know that?
I kind of have to be.
And that's that.
Yep.
Do
That's all I can
perception
say.
checks.
Whoop. Ooh, 17?
I liked the cock. 7.
Okay. You guys hear the same night noises. You hear the rushing of the streams, like the birds in the air, kind of quieting down because it's. No, actually, they're getting louder because it's morning, getting closer to morning.
Oh, yep.
And you see like the fireflies are starting to kind of like go away for the night, go to bed. But you wake up and there's not really any problems tonight, and it's a beautiful new day. Looks a tish cloudy. Where you're like, maybe it's gonna rain later. I don't know. And then I'm assuming you start walking towards the bridge.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is
Unless there's like if there's like a spot where it's like only like a couple hundred feet, then maybe consider crossing there.
You can keep a lookout on the road. Give me a perception check.
Natural 20.
You find a spot, but it still only looks like it gets about 800 feet across. And
I
it is
can make it. You guys hate them.
Yeah. Then you make it. You see, there's some other travelers kind of meeting you on the road here because there is an actual main road that kind of follows the river.
And that's what we're most likely doing.
There's carts and everything.
Are there any carts going the same way we're going?
Yeah.
I wonder if it'd be possible to like maybe hitch a ride and save some time.
Carts don't move. They only move a little bit faster, and you can just make you less tired. But let's go.
Fair.
You could certainly try.
I mean, tree person, white person, probably not the easiest to hitchhike with. So just keep going on foot, trying to stay out of the way.
You guys get to the bridge. It takes you about let's see,
Half the day.
Yeah, about half the day walking down.
Wasn't this a road that we're
This
on?
is a
Yeah.
road.
Yeah.
I guess would it be less
Yeah.
than that? Would be like a third of the day.
Yeah, maybe it'd be quicker on the road
'cause we
because
were
we're not
right
having
here,
to fight.
right?
Yeah, you probably would. It
Oh.
would be quicker on the road. It probably only takes you about 2 hours to get to the bridge.
Cool.
Oh.
And
Okay.
it looks like it's actually like a checkpoint, and there are guards on it. And there's people checking merchandise.
Lynn gets super excited. Rowan, golly gee, look what I see! And I point and see these big mountains coming up to the south.
So Lynn, can you turn back into like one of your human forms just to be safe?
But you told me on our watch to stay in this form.
I said it's safer when you're by yourself to be in this form, but like you said, sometimes people view you differently, and I just want to make sure that you're safe when we go through here, because people don't always understand. If it makes you feel any better, I'll change too.
Oh, I like you the way you are, Luna.
I thought you liked me that way too.
I see you as a lie.
I'm just trying to make sure that guards don't be mean to you, because other people aren't like us.
She's changing.
Okay. I'm trying to convince you that This is for your
benefit.
safety. Unfortunately, we can't do much with Rowan, except for maybe throw him in the back of the wagon and make him look like a log.
Yeah. It looks more like
Very convincing.
you guys have to get in line. There's some other carts and everything in front of you, and you're probably waiting for about 30 minutes for these other 5 carts to get in front of you and cross the bridge. This is a big ass bridge. It goes all the way across the river, which is more to about the 1,000 feet here. And it is like allowing carts both ways, traveling 2 ways across to go, and it kind of looks like it could actually fit probably men like 10 by 10, like 10 across. Yeah, so like shoulder to shoulder. It's pretty wide. And the guards, basically, you can see that there are ones with straight, like, different regalia on them. They have a...
This is a checkpoint from...
Yeah, this is a checkpoint to go into the Blooming Meadows.
Oh, does this river make the border?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They have a cluster of iris flowers on their breastplates, it looks like, and they're wearing colors of yellow and purple. And they basically are just asking, like, you know, where are you from? Like, you know, where are you going to? And then it's like 2 silver to cross the bridge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's just you guys walking across.
Yeah, I think we
just a goal
probably
from the party fund.
show them the contract.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, and
we got the
guild badges.
we got the badges from the Merchants Guild. You know, we're here on contract
Rowan's
for
got
a job.
his in his chest.
They inspect it. They're not really as interested quite in you guys because you're just
on foot.
On foot. You are carrying like travel bags and you have a guild contract and you look like they've seen it before and they're like, all right, yep, 2 silver to cross.
I just tossed my gold from the party fund. Is everyone okay with that?
Yeah, that's good.
I'm great with that.
They'll say up when you get closer to Windmill, when you're going into the mountains, they're like, the river that comes down there is a little bit more, all the rivers are a little bit more flooded around here than usual, so just be careful crossing there. I'd recommend going across the bridge, and if you're in the Whispering Vale, be really careful. Might be flooding in some spots.
Thank you. Yeah, we're going to Wind Vale.
Yeah. He's like, especially if we get more rain. And he kind of like looks at the clouds like, ugh.
What a pain.
Yeah, keep going.
You guys are able to cross the bridge. I would say that make some well, you're not on the. I'm not gonna have you make survival checks because
we're on the
road. You're on the road. If you go up through here, you would. I would say if you cut across, you might be able to make up some time depending on how your survival checks go.
I mean,
I think if we're on the road, we might as well stick on the road.
So basically, if we go and cut across the woods, we would leave Lynn now. Versus where we get to the crossroads, we leave her at the crossroads.
You guys, let me think, because you were down here to here. You probably could get to here at the end of the 3rd day because of the crossing of the bridge and everything.
Sure.
And then
that slowed us down.
And it's starting to rain too in the early evening. So you may want to call it a bit early unless you want to walk.
I mean, do you want to split ways with Lynn at the bridge and try to cut across the trees, or do you want to stay on the road and at that crossroads there? A little further down.
Well, I was kind of thinking, because Lynn obviously doesn't know directions very well and can't navigate the greatest. She sees those mountains just to the south of that.
So would she just book it to the mountains?
Can we see these ones? Are they
in the distance?
They're way more in the distance. The other ones are much more.
She's just gonna go to the green.
How many miles, honey?
Let me pull up my map with the markers on it and I'll tell you.
Well, I'll ask you this. Do you think that this planet is the size of Earth?
Why?
Because that decides how far we can see.
Let's say yes for the sake of simplicity.
All right. Tell me how far 16 miles is.
On here.
Oh.
Well, we were traveling 30 miles a day.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys were up here. Push it.
I mean, fan to cutting.
You guys are probably this
Would be able to get
This
a little
is
farther?
30. This is 30. To get from here to here is
Here's
30
30.
miles.
Okay. So
Yeah, she wouldn't be able to see those.
we
then.
would not be able to see those
She would
far
see the
ones because
green
from
one.
ground
These
level,
ones, yeah, these ones.
we
We
can
would
basically
probably-
see 16 miles.
We
before
would basically
curvature.
only be able to see the green burn
Yeah.
peaks
The
just
green
barely.
peaks.
Yeah.
Yep.
So she would probably honestly go there,
Yeah.
not
From the
really
bridge?
knowing the area, never being down
Yeah.
there before. So.
Right.
No, that's it. So yeah, so we'd I guess get to that tower or as far
Yeah.
as we can, maybe off the road a bit, and then camp and say goodbye to Lynn.
In the morning. Okay. I mean, I'm assuming Lynn communicates her plans with the group.
Oh,
What do you
I-
say?
yeah.
Well, you guys, I think if it's okay with you, maybe I'll stay here one more night with you and then head to those mountains in the morning.
Are you sure?
Do you think those are the mountains you're looking for?
Well, they could be. They're over here somewhere.
Well,
I know what to look for. It's just getting there.
The rock door. Well, like I said, and it's just you, and people look mean, look like your normal self, and then if you see nice people, if you don't want to scare them, turn into like a human, like Nora or I.
Isn't she more likely to get attacked if she looks like her normal self?
Well, yeah, that's only if she sees friendly people should she look like her normal self. Otherwise, she should look, or no, other
But
way
you just-
around.
Scary people, you don't necessarily want to look scary because they'll probably
Yeah.
just attack you.
No.
she's
You-
using it
Where are
as an
you from?
intimidation factor.
Yeah. Why do you think I look intimidating when I go in the bar with scary people?
Or if I hear people, I can just
When do you
climb a
look
tree.
intimidating?
I mean,
Ah,
the
you
climbing the
know
tree
it.
has gotten you
No.
quite a far
To
ways
the forehead,
thus
silly.
far. So
You guys
Look, a
managed
little
to
rascal
sneak up
tumble.
on me.
Like you don't want to start a fight?
Okay, I guess. I didn't think you looked more intimidating. I just think you look different.
She's like, you just ruined my whole appearance of myself.
well, either way, she can always just climb a tree if she needs to. So
Exactly.
just be safe, okay?
Means you
I
did
sure
kill those
will.
pixie things.
And if you're ever in Fehal, because that's usually where we are, come to the Fehal Guild Hall.
Merchant's Guild.
The Merchants Guild.
Look for this symbol.
That one.
That's a beautiful symbol.
I can't claim ownership of it, but I did make the piece that holds it in place.
Could you make it out of lace?
I could certainly try, but I don't know if I would know how
Or what?
or why.
Oh my goodness. You know I'm doing good until you.
My oh my!
Do you want a slice of pie?
Don't make me cry.
It's okay.
And this is where we say goodbye.
There we go. Good.
Well, is it morning now?
We'll say
Yeah.
it's morning.
Unless you want us to roll for nighttime stuff.
Because
Nah.
what is
If we're
that?
on the road,
It's
and
just a
is it
tower.
like
It's
a
just-
watchtower?
This is more of it's a little bit of a town marker where it's mostly like a guard outpost.
Is there like a
There's
general
an inn
camp, like
or
where
whatever?
There's
people
like an
kind of
inn.
pitch
You could
for?
probably get an actual room for the night, which you might want to because it is raining tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, like why not?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can get in for the night for. There's a fancier one, but there is more of a comfortable like.
Yeah, we don't need ritzy.
No.
Yeah. There's one where you can get like for 5 silver pieces a night per room. So and some of you guys could share rooms if you wanted.
2 rooms, 1 gold.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll just take that from party fun then.
Okay.
Easy.
Yeah, so then it's morning. There is breakfast included in your stay. It's not super fancy breakfast.
Continental breakfast?
There's no Belgian waffles here, sir.
And it's delicious. And we don't do that dishes.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, you're too much, Christy.
I love it. But yeah, it's definitely morning. I mean, you guys are all kind of having breakfast together. Hans and Franz Andrew's characters like, good morning, Lynn. I hope you get off safely this morning.
Oh, I see. You can do it.
That was a wonderful impression.
I wanted to see if I could do it.
Well, you guys, thank you so much for letting me travel with you.
Yeah, of course.
You're welcome.
It was nice meeting a new friend.
I don't really have much, but I do have something I would like to share with you.
Okay.
I have lots of these because I tend to lose them a lot. And so I would like if each of you would take a kazoo.
We need the green ones.
Aw, but I like the green.
I have to do the blue.
I'm a tree.
We're from nature.
But
It's what we do.
favorite color.
Same. I have to do the blue.
Yeah, this was all Christy's idea to give you all kazoos.
And we send her off with one last song.
What song?
What
obviously.
song?
I'm just checking.
It's very obvious.
Okay.
Well, and then as she turns away, you hear her start to sing. All around the countryside, I search high and low. Oh, I am for sure to finally find to the fountain of youth I go.
Oh, everyone join in.
Oh gosh.
We're so good at this, guys.
As the party says goodbye to Lin, they are closer than ever to their destination. But will they be able to find the hunters, or will they find themselves in danger in this mysterious passage known as the Whispering Vale? Find out next time on the Guardians of Fehal.